Test, tickle.
I didn't even get that. That's how smooth that was.
Come on.
That was too smooth. And that's going to be on the blooper reel.
Nice. Let's go.
You are now tuning in to the Relentless Project. Real people, real stories, real life.
I appreciate you for jumping on the Relentless Project. This was like a passing through the locker room kind of thing, and I always wanted you on, because I got people on my list, and you're just like, "Hey, dude, what's up?" I'm like, "You be down? I don't even gotta ask. Let's do it."
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that it's cool. Like, Pittsburgh's a small jiu-jitsu community, like real tight knit, right? So when someone's doing something big in it, like you hear about it. I was like, "Oh man, Ish got that podcast? Oh, that's Ish. Let me talk to him."
I appreciate it. Well, we about to be talking. We got some things to talk about.
Absolutely.
For those of you who don't know, this is Tanner. He does real estate. He's a very high level jiu-jitsu competitor, black belt. I had to throw that in there.
Thank you.
You had a podcast. Like, tell us a little bit. What do you do? What keeps you busy? What keeps you going?
Yeah, well, you nailed that. Real estate keeps me real busy. Jiu-jitsu keeps me really busy. I can now say this. My fiance and I were expecting, so we're in our second trimester now.
Congrats,
and we're about
bro.
to have a kid here in September. Yeah.
You think jiu-jitsu's hard? Just you wait.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I heard it completely changes you. I'm super stoked for that. Like, I say this to. I even posted about it when we were allowed to tell people. It's Matthew McConaughey's quote out of his book Green Lights. He says, "The only thing I ever knew I wanted to be in life was a father," and I was like, "Boom! I feel that."
So that's so true. When I have a 12-year-old now, going on 12.
Nice.
When I found out that this was a thing, my daughter about to be born, I was so scared, bro. I was 18.
18.
I was 18. I was starting college. I was working multiple jobs. Yeah. I was in and out of trouble still. I was still like, I was a kid having a kid,
The mean streets of Erie, right?
Yeah, people don't sleep on Erie, man. That Lower East Side almost ate me up, bro. It almost ate me up, but I made it up.
So we played Erie East.
Oh yeah,
Oil City did.
Yeah,
up on the carpet.
Yep.
Yeah.
East is now a middle school, I believe.
Oh, is it?
It's just one high school. It's called Erie High.
My parents live in Erie now, and my dad, January 2020, right before COVID started, he retired from being the superintendent for Mill Creek School District. So McDowell.
Good school district.
Yeah.
A lot of athletes come out of there.
Oh man, like him and James Conner really bonded because he had cancer. James had cancer, so like they were pretty tight knit.
Yeah,
going through his thing. Yeah,
but it's a small world. Like growing up in Erie, I thought it was like a no man's land. And then I come down here and people are like, "Oh, Erie, yeah, I know." I'm like, "How do you know Erie?"
Yeah. And even you were saying it before here, like I'm from Oil City. You're like, "Oh, I did some work up in Franklin, and everybody's got a camp up in Tionesta and Titty Ute, and like, yeah.
And everything. Pittsburgh is so small. When I moved down here, I used to visit a couple times, and I always thought Pittsburgh was like huge. I'm like, oh, big city,
yeah,
like,
right, big lights.
And then I moved down here, and I realized like everyone stays in their like square.
Yes.
If you were from Lawrenceville, you still live in Lawrenceville
for sure,
or you hang out in Lawrenceville, or you shop in Lawrenceville. If you're from Shady Side, like everyone stays in there and everyone knows each other. I'm like, how?
You know what else? Pittsburgh's a big boomerang city, so people will leave, be like, "Fuck this, I'm coming back," and then move back to Pittsburgh.
Honestly, it's the best of both worlds. You have like a big city vibe, but then you also have like that local community. Everyone kind of knows each other. Like especially if you're in a MMA community. I know guys who train an hour away.
Right.
Like they always come to the tournaments, or they're always cross training. Like everyone, and then you see them out, and you're like, "Oh, dude, I like."
Yeah.
So it's big enough that you can hide if you want to, but it's also so small that you're gonna run into someone, you know.
For sure.
So congrats on the baby thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Dude, my whole life changed when I looked down and I saw myself looking at me. I'm like, I'm in charge of another human.
So, okay, because I'm gonna ask you for like parenting tips, and I know you're 18 at the time and all that, but like what do I do, man?
Bro, honestly, like, and it's like I never had the crying baby. Like my daughter slept throughout the night. Like I almost had to shake the crib to feed her. Like, hey, it's feeding time. You know, she'd wake up. I'm like, okay, but honestly, it's something. It's rewarding every day. And if a baby cries, they're either hungry, they pooped, or they're tired. Those are the three things that the check.
Yeah.
You know, that's 95% of the issues. If it's not that, maybe the baby's sick.
Okay.
Like
advice.
It's pretty simple if you approach it like that, you know. Don't be a helicopter parent. You got to let the kids do dangerous things in safe environments. Like that's something I notice a lot of this younger generation missed out on. Like I grew up, and I'm even guilty of it. I grew up like playing outside. I'd end up in the other side of the city of Erie at the age of like 10 or 11. I could not trust my daughter to walk down the street to the store.
Right.
You know, like, are you going to look for traffic? Are you going to, I was riding bikes and I would go 15, 30 minutes to the other side of the city or bike an hour.
We'd have our fishing poles in our backpacks and go biking 10 or 15 miles to the pond for sure.
It's just a different time, you know? So it's like, if you can raise your kid, you guys know if it's a boy or girl?
We're not going to find out.
Okay. I never understood that, but I'll respect it. No. Okay.
So the reason being, and really my brother kind of inadvertently put me into this camp was, I was like, you're crazy for his first kid. Now he's 12 or 13. But no, he's 10. Sorry, he just turned
age,
10.
Right?
Yeah,
we're not talking about number of kids.
No.
I was like, boy, he got busy. Okay,
right. So I was like, you're nuts for not finding out. Like, how do you plan? How do you prepare? And he's like, you know, you never, or these days, true surprises are rare and hard to find. And this is like a real true surprise in life.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
I can give a couple surprises that I don't know. Like, I guess I can't really speak on it from this end, but like as a mother, I would like, how, like, do you have that same connection? Like, it's tough, you know. Like, we'll never know.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Like knowing if it's a boy or if it's a girl, like already assigning names and like
we have names picked out
for both.
Yeah.
Okay, for a boy.
Well, I'm not allowed to say. I can't say.
Sorry, guys. I almost had it. Thought I was going to be able to slip it past.
I know. My mom was on your side right there too.
She's like, make sure you ask him the name. Right. So, what got you started in the real estate? How long have you been doing real estate?
So I've had my license since 2017, but I jumped in full time right after. So June 2020. When COVID shut everything down, but real estate had just opened back up here in Pittsburgh, I lost my job. I've been in the welding industry my whole life. So I was selling welding products for a manufacturer, Lincoln Electric. Then I sold gas and industrial supplies for air gas. And then I sold big industrial dust collectors for RoboVent. COVID,
blue collar, a lot of blue collar stuff.
Yeah. COVID came. I was working for a private company. They're like, hey, we got to make some cuts. And the guy that was there 11 months, got the cut first. So I had no idea what to do other than I had a couple deals going because it was like heating up. And some people from the gym knew that I had my real estate license.
So you were doing it like part-time.
Yeah, but just very like
dabbling.
Yeah, exactly. So I lost my job and then I was like, what do I do? I called up one of my good friends, Jamie Bennett. I was like, hey, I just lost my job. She goes, bro, get the fuck over to my house right now. We're going to do this shit. And like from then on, I was like, I'm a realtor.
So you wore the hat immediately. You stepped into it.
Yeah.
How tough was that going from like something that's very hands-on to like now you're just like kind of overseeing things in the background and making sure everything's running. You're like I call it like what's the people who, a conductor.
Okay, yeah, nice.
You know, you have the financing over here you're trying to work on, and the house stuff and inspections, and you're just like trying to get the whole deal to close. Like, how'd you transition to that?
Well, the sales side of it helped a lot because I have 10 years of sales under my belt. So like the number side of things, those were, I had a good understanding of just basic math, right? Of
2 + 2 is 5.
Thank you. Exactly. 4.5 sometimes. But so like the sales and like the personality and knowing how to deal with people was there. What wasn't there was these sporadic paychecks. Like I wasn't getting a paycheck every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks or every 6 weeks in some instances. Like, so that one was hard to come, to really overcome. Jiu-jitsu helped me a lot though too. In real estate. So like it helped me not quit when shit got rough, just like digging your heels in. I don't have any deals. Okay, what are you gonna do? Like when I go out and compete, it's only me versus that other dude, right? Nobody else is out there helping me. Yeah, I got a coach in my corner, but it's just me, right?
It's up to you're
it's
doing
up
everything.
to me. So like if I don't have any deals going, what am I gonna do to get some deals going? Am I going to pick up the phone? Am I going to send out mailers? Am I going to ask a friend to see if they got, anybody interested in real estate? So it helped me in that aspect. Jiu-jitsu helped me in the community aspect because now everybody knows from the gym that I'm a full-time realtor and I'm an instructor down there and I'm there all the time. So my sphere of influence now is the gym. Like it funds my life. 99% of my real estate deals come from the gym. So it's cool. But going back to, it was tough. Like the transition was certainly tough. I made a lot of mistakes. I paid way too much for Zillow leads. I paid way too much for a coach.
I was going to say, what kind of mistakes did you find yourself making early on?
Yeah, just shelling out all this money because I thought that was going to make me successful. Oh, you got to spend money to make money. You hear it all the time, right? And I got to get a coach and I got to buy these leads and I got to do X, Y, and Z and it all costs money. And I got to, we didn't, at the time, I worked for a real small brokerage, LifeSpace, but we're on a come up, baby.
Yeah. Hey, I love the underdog story, man.
Yeah.
Don't get me, I may work for a big company, but I love the underdog story.
Yeah. Yeah. So, at the time we didn't have many resources that typical brokerages would pay for. A website, sending out mailers, doing the follow-ups. I don't have a transaction coordinator who's doing all my paperwork, right? So I get to pay for all that. So I would shell out money just thinking, oh, this is how it's going to be. And someday it's going to turn around. Well, 80 G's of credit card debt later, I'm sitting here going, oh, what did I do?
Real estate career launch.
What did I do? Yeah. Yeah. Now,
you started a business, bro. Some people start businesses with 80K.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, real estate, it's a business, but like, that's tough.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was dumb mistakes. Like I could have probably been here where I am now with like 65 less in credit card debt.
So It's funny because I made the same mistake when launching this podcast. It's like, you see all these podcasts that you want to be like, right? Like, imitation is the best form of flattery. You see some, oh man, I like their style, I like the way. So you aim for that. So it kind of puts obstacles in your way. You're like, oh, I need those $400 microphones that they have. I need what's the best software for podcasts?
These
I
are
need
$400 mics.
These
too,
ones, well, I'm upgraded, baby.
Hey,
I'm upgraded.
Yeah.
But so I dump all this money in, and then I'm nervous to start.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting on all this stuff, and I'm like, wait, I'm literally in my kitchen, in my dining room, like, what am I going to talk about? How am I going to, like, I hate being by myself. Like, talking, I forget about everything. It's like, oh, dude, I've always wanted to have a conversation with Tanner. We can sit here and have a conversation. But like, when it's by myself, I'm just staring at this camera. I did it like 15, 30 times. Same episode over and over by myself.
Okay.
But I poured all this money in, and I'm like, now the pressure is to start because I put all this money in. It's not, this is something I want to do it. I'm going to start it. It's like, now I've invested all this money. I have to do it, you know? But luckily I went with it, and here we are with some Shure SM7Bs.
Let's go. It's so cool. I'm going to do my best. My goal is to start a podcast in real estate, and I think it's just going to be me talking into a mic and
I know a guy who can help you with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, he goes by Lopez.
Shit, hook me up, bro.
Yeah, I'll give you his contact.
Thank you.
No, but seriously, there's been a couple of people I've helped start their podcast. So
Nice.
I mean, it's cool. Like, it's no competition. You can only listen to so many one of my episodes before you get bored. Like, venture out, man.
I might steal something you do, because you title each episode "The One With." I love that idea.
You know where I got that from?
No.
Friends.
Nice.
So
Right.
actually, people have asked me about it's. I grew up watching Friends, man, and it's always the one with the couch, or the one with Ross laughs, or the one with Pivot. Like, I love. So I was like, oh, the one with.
It's so perfect.
Dude,
It's so perfect.
Do it.
I'm not gonna steal that one. That's original. But
It's Friends. I stole it, bro. I didn't create it.
True.
Yeah, and like another thing I want to do is like small series. I just started that, you know, with a good friend of mine. He was actually the 5th episode I ever had on this podcast, and now he has multiple myeloma, a cancer, terminal cancer, and he's always wanted to start a podcast. And write a book. He's like, well, no better time than now. Now that, you know,
right.
So it's highlighting like his story and like his past, and, you know, using those life lessons from the past and how he's applying them today.
Dope.
So like now it's the Relentless Project X Smash series.
Oh,
you
nice.
know, so if you do like a real estate, you know, it can be like you get someone on who was on the buyer side, you know. I was going to try to think of a name for your podcast, but I'm not that creative right now. But no, we got tips, bro. We got tips.
You need some brain power.
Yeah, I'm on 2 of those already. I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
I was telling you, I like those feel-free things. They're like they're shots you get at a gas station, right? So they're probably not the healthiest, but it's got kava and kratom, and it's like super focused. All my brain power is like,
I wonder,
achievable.
is it like in a white bottle?
It's blue.
Blue?
Yeah, but Ben Greenfield, he backs it. So I kind of blindly lead. If the experts say it's good, then here I am.
That's what they're experts for, right? Who am I to argue?
Yeah,
I'm
right.
about to try. I haven't tried it. So you decided to do real estate in one of the toughest times to get into the industry.
I didn't have a choice, really. I say I didn't have a choice. I probably could have went and got another job in the welding industry, but I didn't want to either. Like I had these visions of, you know, I don't know, start my own jiu-jitsu school or branching out and trying to make money on my own. Like I knew I didn't want a boss, because I've had some experiences where like I've been just really abrasive experiences with bosses. And the idea of me working my ass off to put money in his pocket just like left a sour taste in my mouth. Corporate America.
It's a crazy concept, isn't it?
Yeah. That part of corporate America, I really can't stand. So I was just like, I'm a realtor now. And then you get a little bit of momentum, and then a little bit more, and then you spread the word, and the word keeps spreading. And soon enough, you know, you're the in-house realtor at the gym, and we got 4 locations, and we got a ton of members. So
I'm not offended. We train at the same damn gym, and he's in my office sitting here rubbing it in. I'm gonna allow it because I can't beat him up because he's a black belt. So what if on my damn show?
Listen, dog, you got like 6 full-time jobs. Just give me one.
Yeah, okay, you got it. Not like real estate. I love real estate because, and I always tell people, this is my angle of real estate. Like, I'm not gonna bullshit you. I have a career. I have multiple income streams. Like, I genuinely love the real estate industry. I went into buying properties and stuff. I wanted to do commercial, but I was like, what better way to learn the industry than being a realtor?
Yeah.
Being in the mix, you know?
For sure.
So I got in, and I love it. You know, you're bringing people to where they're going to start families and make memories. And people say it's corny, but I operate on corny, dude. I love talking to people. I love people. You can't piss me. If I'm pissed off, dude, you royally fucked up because it's impossible.
Right.
It's you know. So I'm that corny dude. I love talking to people. You know, the whole idea of like we're finding a place for you to spend the next 10 years of your life and create, and like that's awesome to me.
So
I get to be a part of that.
Yeah, you get to have a part in helping someone level up in life.
Yeah,
Like, that's so cool. The most fun time of the entire real estate transaction is at closing table, where everybody's smiling.
I'm sitting back and I'm like,
yeah.
When they finish reading everything, and they're like, "Here's your keys," and they're like,
boom.
Yeah, it's like it's yours.
Right. And again, like making people happy, like that's worth something. Might not be worth $1.
You can't put money on that.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
You can't put money on that.
No, it fills your, I don't know, fills your happiness
Your
bucket.
tank. Your tank, you know, like
Yeah.
you can't pour from an empty cup.
There you go.
If you aren't being fed happiness and joy, how do you expect to provide people with that?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I get it. What's your least favorite part of working real estate?
Oh, man.
If you had to pick one.
Oh, dude, I got okay. I have almost $2 million under contract right now. Every single one of those deals, something's going on. Appraisal came back 25,000 under. I got inspection.
Just do what everyone else does. Lower the price.
Well, we're the buyer, so it kind of worked out in our favor.
Okay.
But I'm that house in Cheswick, which you got under you got yours under contract before I did. So good on you. But the inspector came and inspected the deck. He says you need a brand new deck. They want it, so they asked for $20,000 in credit. I brought a builder out. He's like, you don't need a new deck. I can just pour new footings and put some braces up. It's $4,000. So we're right in the middle of.
We must have
that
had the
stuff.
same inspector because my client actually didn't touch anything in the basement, and it passed the last inspection a couple years ago. And then this year, it was like you need, to ground this out. I'm like, what?
The subjectivity.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
In inspections and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough because like your deal was banking on this random person who has no stake in any of this.
And everybody's human. And who knows if that guy got a call from his wife on the way to do the appraisal, and his wife's telling him she's cheating on him, or he wants a divorce, or their kid's sick, or whatever. I mean, and we get, we get the shrapnel off that, right?
Well, that's like everyday life. People have bad days and they take it out on people. And now, like, you're like,
yeah.
Hey, did you have a good day today? Hey, what's up, man? How's your day? Nice car, bro. It's like a bucket Honda, which I drove that. I can say that.
Absolutely.
And he's like, oh, thank you. Pass.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not how it works, folks. Don't worry.
No, not one bit. So yeah, I'd say that just the subjectivity of it all, kind of that part sucks.
What about when agents don't split the commissioning? I saw your video.
Dude, I was on one that day. I had a deal. It was an $85,000 deal, one I was like barely paying attention to. And we got to the closing table, and that's where I saw, because I didn't even read through the Alta. I just sent it to my buyer and I was like, you good with this? He's good. Okay. So I get to the closing table and I'm like doing some math. I'm like, it's an $85,000 deal. You gave me 2.5% and you're taking 3.5%. What did you do more that I didn't do?
If anything, I'd be willing to give the other side more because
But you're a good person.
you're bringing me a buyer. You're making my client's goal happen.
Right.
Like,
There's just entitled people out there, especially in this industry.
I've talked about that, man. And I always tell people, like, I don't need this. This is like something I do on the side. I give it my 100%. And this is what bothers me. This is something I do on the side. I give it my 100% attention. I read every paragraph. I read everything that's been submitted. And there's people who do this for a living to pay their bills, to feed their families full time. And they won't have half the things in a seller's disclosure signed or looked at. And I'm like,
Right.
this is what you do full time, and It baffles me.
Right.
It baffles me.
And there's a lot of them out there. And I think we had a decrease. Like there's like 1,500 agents that left the industry, but in the height of it, I think we had like 82 or 8,400 active agents. That's part-time and full-time, but only like 1,500 were actually producing. So, the other, do the math, 6,700
are sitting in podcast rooms talking to people.
yeah.
Self-deprecation is good for the soul.
Oh, it sure is.
Keeps you humble.
Right.
So can you apply what you learn in like jiu-jitsu and MMA to like your real estate career?
Yeah, for sure. So in times where I've got 2 million under contract and they're all going haywire, I know to just sit still in the storm, right? Like you can't make any brash decisions right now or it's going to cost you. You got to sit, think through it. Even when you got this, gray cloud that's just raining down on you, is going to pass. So I think just taking a step back, taking a beat, and not getting too excited, right? It's really, I think it's bad when you have such a high amplitude of your highs and then such a low amplitude of your lows, compared to not the highest of highs, but also not the lowest of lows. Like the more we can stay towards that center ground and just move like this, instead of these huge, up and down swings. I think in jiu-jitsu and in real estate and in life, it just helps you deal with shit much more easy.
Is there any like routines or habits that you have that you can apply to both?
Yeah, breathe. Like,
it's funny, huh? But it's so true.
Yeah.
I just ran a DT class for my department, and we instituted a grappling club.
Sick.
And there's this guy who goes 100% everything, and we're like 30%. He's like 100%. He holds his breath, and I'm like, breathe through this movement. But I still find myself doing that too in jiu-jitsu, and that's when your tank just plummets.
It absolutely plummets. So my advice to you is to like be very intentional with your breath work. Like I remember Mike Rossi. So when I was a white belt, I started out in Connecticut. Mike Rossi, he was a black belt and also in jiu-jitsu and a second-degree black belt in judo. And every time we rolled, I would hear his breath cadence. It was, and if you listen to like Huberman today, he goes, that's the best type of like breathing, whatever. Cadence, cadence that you could have is take a big deep breath in, and then on top of that, get in even more because your lungs expand that much more when they're already expanded, and it brings a lot more oxygen back in. But having a cadence, focusing on the breath, will bring down your heart rate, will give you more oxygen that's flowing through your blood, and that in and of itself will settle you down.
It's interesting because a lot of people will go, I can't breathe. When essentially it's just panic. Like panic is setting in.
Yep.
Like you can breathe. Mm-hmm. You're just panicked right now. Mm-hmm. And when I was early on white belt, that was, and I'm 220 something pounds, mm-hmm. and I was feeling that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, how does it feel for like now that I'm blue belt for a couple years and I'm doing that to like how the hell does that feel?
It doesn't feel
I feel
good.
like an asshole, bro. Like I feel like an asshole.
Nah, man, you're sharpening their sword too, as you're sharpening yours. So,
what got you into jiu-jitsu? Like I always ask everyone has a different story. You know, Christian Schaefer, bored out of high school, wanted to do something new.
I'll show you this.
Oh,
yeah, keep on talking. You want to do something new?
Yeah. So everyone has a different story into what made them get into it, and then what keeps them in it, and then there's that blue belt curse that people always everyone has to fight through.
Blue belt blues, baby.
Blue belt blues, and then as a black belt, like a lot of people think that once you get your black belt, you're done, you complete, like you've reached pinnacle jits or karate, as some people call it.
Yeah, the karates.
The karates. Like what was your story on how you started?
Yeah. So I'll I'll comment on once I got black belt, the only thing that changed for me really was literally just the color on the belt. As I'm further in, like a year into it, I realize now just how much I don't know, and it's scary. So it that in and of itself pushes me to go to the gym more, because there's so much shit that I realize that I don't know. Like Sean Williams, you know Sean.
Yeah.
So Sean's Warren's coach. Warren's Stout is our coach. So Sean says, you know, here's a dot. That's how much jiu-jitsu you know. Here's a little circle around that dot. That's how much jiu-jitsu you know you don't know. And then you got a huge circle around that. And that's everything you don't know that you don't know.
Damn.
There's levels to that.
There's levels to this shit.
So it's like, so I'm finding out, I'm like, oh man, little micro adjustments are everywhere, right? I have my sequence that I like to do, that I like to hit in competition. There's a million other sequences that are available. And then after you get all those, there's a million more waiting for you to learn. So how'd I get into it? I was that fat ass up top. That was 282 pound Tanner before.
Ain't no way. That don't even look like you.
I know, right? It's like the top guy shat out the bottom guy.
Dude, for real.
I don't know if you guys can.
That's insane.
Yeah, so
how long ago was that?
2012.
Okay. Still, dude. Did you
So
grow 2 feet too, or was that just angle?
It probably angle.
He's tall as hell.
So I played baseball and football growing up. And I was athletic and in shape my whole high school career. I got to college, played baseball in college. I used to tell this story that my coaches wanted me to gain weight, so I gained weight purposely. That was just me hiding behind, the embarrassment that, dude, I had like a food addiction and didn't know it.
Dude, I talked about that on Isaac. Like, people underestimate the addiction of food.
Oh yeah, it's the worst one. I think you said that on that one.
It is.
It's literally the worst.
Obesity, heart issues. Then that leads into breathing issues and all the things you can't see. A lot of the cancers that come from people's diets and stuff. Like,
it's nasty, and most of it is all preventable too. It's like we kill ourselves. But yeah, so I ballooned up in college, and then a couple years after college, I was still the same weight, and I was like, I got to do something. So I got a CrossFit Groupon. I was like, I'm gonna just go to the CrossFit gym. So lucky stars align. Door on the right is CrossFit. Door on the left is jiu-jitsu. So I did CrossFit for like about a year. I always peek into the jiu-jitsu door. The sole owner of the jiu-jitsu side was part owner of the CrossFit side. So he'd come over and he coached CrossFit, but he'd also be like, hey,
it's a cool little setup.
Yeah. He's like, hey, you should try out jiu-jitsu sometime. And I was like, God, excuse me, thanks for the invite. I'm not sure. I was always a big UFC fan. That's kind of how it all starts,
I love
right?
UFC.
For sure. But then one day, Matt Wheeler, who's a purple belt, came over and coached CrossFit. Matt Wheeler is 4'0", 100 pounds soaking wet, like in a purple belt. So he's like, hey man, you want to come over and roll? And this is 282 Tanner, like egotistical, got into fights on purpose in college. In college, I told people I was a black belt jiu-jitsu. Like, I just want to go and beat that kid's ass so bad. But he needed to make those mistakes to end up here.
Fight younger me.
Yeah,
100%. If I saw me in the street, I would fight myself.
For sure. So my ego kicks in. I'm like, are you sure? Like, I'm like almost 3 times as big as you. Like, I'm going to smash you, dude. And Matt played coy. It was great. He's like, yeah. I like to test my skills. I was like, okay. So slap bump. It wasn't 45 seconds. I was exhausted. Like, you get exhausted in CrossFit. This is different. This is completely different. Like, I was just breathing in dust every single breath. My lungs hurt. And that was in 45 seconds, he had already tapped me a couple times. So in a 5-minute roll, he tapped me 12 times. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, this little kid, this little boy, just completely wrecked me. What happens if he's 280 pounds? What happens if he's a black belt?
It's a bad day.
Yeah, it's a bad day. Maybe I should start this. So I quit CrossFit and I got into jiu-jitsu that day. Like, it was like a direct trade.
So can I switch my membership over?
It's exactly what it was. So then, I caught the itis, caught the addiction, the jiu-jitsu addiction, and was a gym rat. Just never dropped it.
See, and I tell people that all the time. You can't just try jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. If you actually lean into it, you will become a fiend, a fanatic.
It's crazy.
Like, there's people who study it, that's how that deep end, and then there's people who are just like, I got to do this. It's a part of my routine now.
It's like anything else as well. You get a new car, that's all you're thinking about. You get a new girlfriend, that's all you're thinking about. That's never stopped for me with jiu-jitsu. Like, it's all I think about. Even, scrolling, I'll see a jiu-jitsu move, and then like later that day I'll try it, and then later that night I'll be like, well, why didn't this, just have it on the mind at all times.
Those mental reps are important too, man. Mm-hmm. I do that. I'll look at jiu-jitsu, or when I'm at work and I'm like, if I'm talking to this dude, I'm like, if he approaches me, like, how would I handle that right now? I'm always doing that.
For sure.
How long have you been at Stout?
So I moved here in 2016. So since 2016, 8 years.
How many people have you seen come and go?
More than stay. That's like by a tenfold.
And then you go to Stout and you see just bodies of people training.
Yeah.
Just think of the people who have come, tried it, and like left.
Yeah. Everybody's got their own story, their own journey. It's like, I can sit back and go, man, you're like, I know if I was in your position, knowing what I know now, I'd be regretful. But they don't know that they're going to regret it. They don't know that.
So what advice would you tell someone who is struggling of, I can't really make time. Do I continue this? Mm-hmm. Do I just stop? Mm-hmm. What advice would you give someone who's in that struggling of staying with it or just abandoning it?
Well, you kind of got to get personal on their level. Well, what are you struggling with? Why are you struggling? Is it really making time? Like, everybody has the same 24 hours. Don't tell me that you're more busy than, Bezos or Elon. Like, we got the same amount of time. So is it a priority thing? Did something happen in class? Did you get injured? Are you embarrassed for some reason? Like, what makes you tick? What's going on at home? Like, so everybody's different. You got to get down to like the personal level on why you're not getting to the gym. Because on the flip side of that, you have case study after case study of lives being changed, of for the better when you stick with jiu-jitsu. You have a sense of community when you stick with jiu-jitsu. You have the confidence build up and your worldview completely changes. Like, there's so many benefits on the other side that it has to be something on this side of that's like troubling you for not walking through the door.
Community is a huge part. Mm-hmm. Like, how's the Stout community pushed you to elevate your game, your jiu-jitsu? Yeah,
for sure. So I can lean on some of the best in the world, right? Like Warren Stout, one of the best in the world. Mike Wilkins, one of the best in the world. He's all right. and I can
getting choked now.
yeah, right. And I can go down the list. And we train with dogs. That community drives me to keep showing up. I said in my black belt speech, like, and I stole this from Jephthah. Have you met Jephthah yet? Yeah. So Jephthah is another black belt. He's a nerd, and he'd be flattered that I said that. Like, he loves comic books and reading and all this stuff, and one of the best dads I've ever seen. Like, he's awesome, but he's a nerd. it's not a knock on him whatsoever. But he said, jiu-jitsu is an island full of misfits and everybody has their place. And like, so I stole that and I said, I'll take that a little step further. Like, I'm not supposed to be friends with Warren in this life. I'm not supposed to be hanging out with Mike or Logan or Andy and the list goes on. Like, if I didn't have jiu-jitsu and if I was still that dickhead that was trying to pick fights in college with the frat boys, like, I would have never met these amazing individuals and shared something that's like means something so much to me. So it is, the community is just like, it's so cool to be able to be such close friends with all walks of life. I mean, like, lawyers hang out with the criminals,
accountants.
Right?
Other realtors are in there. You know, I was rolling with someone who is an agent in this office.
Oh, no shit.
I had no idea.
That's cool.
I was like, oh, what do you do for it? He's like, oh, I'm a realtor. I'm like, oh, what are you with? Remax. I'm like, what
Where?
Remax? Select. I'm like, what
Dang.
office are you out of? Oh, you know, I won't say the office.
Yeah.
And I'm like, me too.
Dang.
Why have I never seen you? Oh,
Yeah,
I don't really
right.
go into the office. I'm like, dude, what a small world.
So small.
Or you get kids in college, or you have, you know, it's all walks of life, and we all have one purpose when we go through those doors. It's cool. I think there's not really many places like that where a broad community comes together
Yep.
with a single purpose, and then you go back into your, your real world, I guess.
And it's even more of an anomaly here in Pittsburgh where it is community over competition. Like, we go and cross train with the Mat Factory, with Lou's guys, with High Ground, with, you know.
I got a bone to pick with them. They made me throw up.
Which one? Who?
Matter of fact, Cody Gamble, bro.
What type
And
of
he was
pressure was he applying
zero.
on you?
I'm sure he was taking it easy on me. Like, I had Isaac's show, and then Cody Gamble, Cody Law, a couple of his black belt, brown belts go in. It's like a private. He's like, hey, you want to jump in on the privates? I'm like,
Yes.
who am I to say no? Like, Cody's been asking me to come.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was happened to be in my rash guard.
Okay, Danaher.
So we got the rolling and stuff, and like I have like a hernia. So at first I was like, oh man, this is like acting up after like
In
a
your
couple
chest?
hard rounds. Yeah, so it's a hiatal, so it goes up. I believe that's what it's called. So like a couple hard rolls. I'm like, I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm like, I don't feel right. I go out. Puke. Isaac got his phone, man. He's like,
Yeah.
And then after I puked, I'm like, nope, that was just exhaustion. Like, I was like, that's purely what that was. So I went back in and just kept rolling. Yeah, like I was like, okay, well, good news. It's not that hernia. It's just exhaustion.
So you were in the military?
Yeah, I did a couple years.
So without jiu-jitsu, do you think, say it was another, you're also a gym rat, you like to bodybuild and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you think you would have went back in after you like got that exhausted and went back for some more in another, in maybe like your bodybuilding or anything? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Without jiu-jitsu, do you think I would have had the same mindset, you mean?
Yeah.
To like push through, persevere?
Boom. So I what I'm trying to get at is like, I wouldn't have went for the second round in any aspect of life had I not had jiu-jitsu.
I think jiu-jitsu has been a huge catalyst for pushing people past limits. It's very uncomfortable. It's very close. People don't like to be close to each other anymore.
Yep.
Screens have made that you're not really talking to people. So like when you're talking to someone, you see people having they tend to be further apart. Like that closeness is very uncomfortable. Sweat, all that stuff. Jiu-jitsu is one of the things that makes you uncomfortable and kind of forces you to deal with it. The military is huge for that. You know, your first week in basic, you're getting screamed at, getting yelled at, everything's wrong. You get told to go here by one drill sergeant, the other drill sergeant's telling you to do this. So like now you're like stuck, you don't know what to do. Like you're always wrong, you're always uncomfortable. And it's this system of completely breaking you down. And then they turn into like instructor roles to build you back up. So I think it requires you, without the military jiu-jitsu, you need to do things that are hard, that are challenging, that put you out of your comfort zone. If you're not, and that's a goal of mine, at least daily. Something I do that people don't really know about. When I'm in stores, I'll talk to random people because it's uncomfortable. You know, I'll see someone grabbing beans and I'm like, rice and beans tonight? And they're like, huh? And I'll like try to intentionally have a conversation because it forces me to break out of that bubble we've all created for ourselves. And that translates to everything. You're at the gym, you want to hit 10 reps, you're at 9, you're hurting, you know, you're like, I'm gonna go for 10. I'm gonna go for it. You know, those small wins, and Dempsey talked about this, 1,000 trophies. It's always small things you do that build into the big thing everyone sees. You know, I'm very outgoing. I try to be personable. Some would call me an extrovert. That's like,
Sure. Yeah.
but I'm not. I'm very uncomfortable when I'm doing that. I like making people laugh. So I intentionally put myself in these positions to like be outgoing and make people laugh and stuff, but I'm uncomfortable. So I always put myself in those positions. So I need
to pick that up.
I mean,
especially going out, like when, like you said, when you're at the grocery store, or the gas station, or wherever, I'm in and out. I'm singularly focused. I'm going to pick up a energy drink, checking out.
So is the rest of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do that I'm telling you, I'll walk outside, and if it's someone like just, you know, they're not really in a rush, because I don't want to be a burden on people. Sure. My biggest thing is I hate being a burden. Yeah. So I do the opposite and try to make people laugh.
You want to go into psychology?
Yeah.
Why? Why don't you like making people feel like a burden?
You know, because my whole life I've been a burden as a child. I was always a burden to people. I was always getting in trouble. I, you know, gave my mom more headaches than she deserved. You know, it's like, I'm sure there's a psychology mix in there. We're not going to get into that. I don't want to be fixed. No, I'm kidding. But I always try to talk to people. And that was the huge premise of this podcast. I genuinely love talking to people. I'm the dude at the bar where we're having drinks and someone comes up and they like, you know, start small talk. Don't start small talk with me.
You trapped.
We'll talk, bro. You want to talk? I didn't have people talking. So I'm a cop. Everyone knows that. But when I'm out, I don't say anything. I don't say that. So people are like, oh, what do you do? Oil industry. Can you fucking believe the time I said that the dude works for the oil industry? He's like, oh, bro, you in rigs? Are you inland? I'm like, rigs. Me too. What coast you work? I'm like, dude. So I spin the conversation, and I just, next thing you know, I learned all about the oil industry.
There you go.
You know how 16-hour days. This, I'm like, but I'm that dude. I like talking to people, learn, and then what I really love is when people are passionate about what they do. I don't care what it is, and like, I'll bring anyone on this podcast if you're passionate, if you found your purpose, or you're looking for a purpose. Like, you don't have to have it figured out, because I don't. But if you have that passion, that drive, like when I go to, no knock on Starbucks or McDonald's, but when I go to one of those locations and you have that employee who's like, hey, what can I get for you? Oh, good choice. And they're that Absolutely. Energy, you're a good person and you're going to go far.
That's it. I want to be in that energy. I want to bask in that energy too. Right.
Same.
You come walking through the door, you can just tell someone just by their posture and how they're walking and whatnot. Like you can tell. And then they start sharing stories and you start sharing stories, and then boom, 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 boom. And then you're just on this natural high.
And you're like, dude, we're best friends. Yeah. And you're like, we just met, but like
oil and gas, baby.
That's how it is, especially with dudes, man. Like, I have talked to dudes and hung out with guys multiple times and never even got their name. It's like, hey, that dude that we met at what's that one restaurant we were at,
Right.
You guys text and I'm like, well, now it's rude if I ask for his name. I'm like, well, he don't know your name either.
So true. That's so true.
But like, that's how guys operate. It's like, hey, I got the vibe from him. We're cool. We're good. I can fight. We're good. Like, it's like, hey, we're good. Yeah. And then we end up hanging out. I'm like, hey, how you spell your name again?
Right.
Alex, Alex. I thought it was like CS or
it's Bill.
Like William or just checking.
So my excuse is I got OCD. I need your full name and first and last name in my phone, in my contacts.
See, that's not an excuse. I first and last names on my phone. I have to.
Yeah, same here.
Because what if you get 13 Alexes? You don't know which Alex. Alex from the bar, Alex from the restaurant, Alex from the grocery store. But no, yeah, I love building relationships, and jiu-jitsu is a huge place to do that. You know, and the real estate industry, you can kind of do that, especially when there's these, pop-up events that happen and stuff like that. But it's a little tougher because it's a different crowd. With jiu-jitsu, everyone's trying to better themselves.
Right.
So you have that kind of mindset of being more open-minded. You can't go to jiu-jitsu and be like, I got it figured out. Like, don't teach me anything.
Right. You
just
can't.
can't.
Yeah, on the flip side of things, on the real estate side, it's like I'm going to go to this event, with an agenda other than to better myself. Right?
Ask a question and question that challenges what they're talking about. Bro, it blows my mind. Like how some people are just like, especially if you're in an instructor role, and I wear a couple hats in my department, and a few of them are instructors. First thing I tell people, or when I teach at the academy, first thing I tell even cadets who are brand new, who have no experience, I don't know it all. This is not the way. This is a way that I have found to work. So I'm just going to teach you something to put in your tool belt. Feel free to obviously drill it correctly the first few times, and then we can get creative with it, because there's 1,000 ways to do an arm drag. And that's something we were going over in our department. We were teaching arm drags to isolate your weapon side.
Okay.
And so, they saw me and they're like, what hand are you grabbing with? I'm like, let's eliminate that thinking.
Yeah.
The principle is getting the same side hand across our body. If I grab with my right and left to the tricep, or if I grab with my left and right, like this is the most ideal way.
Yep.
But if he comes crashing into me and I hit, like now both my hands are on his arm. Are you going to think, oh, should I put? No, the principle, that camera died. That's why I got the second one.
Nice.
Boom, genius. But it's the principle.
Right.
And that's what we want to learn is the principles. And
going back to what you said, though, you said, hey, guys, I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything. Here's a way, not the way. It takes you fucking up over a long career to get to that point, right? And it's maybe not like fucking up, but it's like you got to
it's not even a career, just life. Like if you've made a lot of mistakes and you've realized like, I don't know everything.
Right.
You're going to approach something new with that mentality of like when I came into jiu-jitsu, I had already ironed out I did a couple AMI fights back in the day.
Nice.
And I fought every day in the street, and I went into a gym. Believe this. I went into an MMA gym thinking I could fight.
Yes.
Got destroyed.
Fresh meat.
Got destroyed, bro. Demolished.
Yeah, of course.
So obviously I get into jiu-jitsu. I've practiced jiu-jitsu. I've semi-trained. Do you have any experience? Nope.
Not a day.
I'm a fresh canvas.
Exactly.
But it takes errors and errors and errors of that,
And that's kind of what I was wanting to point out is like you kind of mature and get to that level by failing, right? Excuse me. And like you said, there's 1,000,001 different ways to do something, whatever works for you. I'm more attracted to somebody who says, I don't have all the answers. I'm not perfect. Here's what I don't know. Here's what I do know, instead of that know-it-all. And you see them in both jiu-jitsu and life, right? You got guys out there posting videos on YouTube, right? Who have no business
YouTube
doing
has
it.
created more mayhem and social media in general.
Yeah.
How do you handle, because you're an instructor, right? You're at that level where now you're sharing your journey with others. How do you handle that person who comes in and, it's one thing to like challenge, which I'm all for challenge. Like we'll pressure test what I'm like. I'm not going to pass something on that I don't believe in. So we can pressure test it. But that person is just like the loud, this is how I'm going to do it. Like, have you ran into that in jiu-jitsu?
Not while I'm teaching a class. So I haven't. So luckily I haven't had
That's
that.
good.
Like, no, right.
Because that's tough. That's tough to deal with.
Like during open mat, you deal with it. And it's like, okay, well, show me. Let's get this next roll. You know? Oh, wait. You said that escape was going to work, but you ended up in a rear naked choke. Like,
Maybe it didn't.
Yeah. And then, you know, those people tend to weed themselves out, though, especially in something that's such an honest and true art. Like, those know-it-all type people, they weed themselves out.
That's what I love about jiu-jitsu. You can't fake it. You either know and do or don't. You know, and the beauty of it is sometimes today you may know. Tomorrow you may know not. You know, it just might not be your day. But it's always honest.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with like fitness. And that's why I fell into jiu-jitsu so hard, because it's the same principle as training in the gym. I go, I'm encountering a resistance that's constantly fighting back. And if I am disciplined with my approach, so good form, I ate well, didn't eat like poop, I'm hydrated, this resistance I'm going to deal with a little better. In jiu-jitsu, are you doing your drills? Are you not skipping warm-ups? Are you
Purple belts.
Yeah. Are you practicing what you're being taught? Are you trying to improvise and adapt? If you are, you'll be able to handle a resistance a little better. If you're not, if you go once a week, which if that's all you can do, awesome. But if you go once a week and you half-ass your reps, and you skip open roll, and you're talking during instruction, and it's going to show. It's going to show. You're going to go out in the world and be like, I train jiu-jitsu, and everyone in your gym's going to be like, that's the dude who fucks around all day. You can't
Exactly.
put two of them together, one's going to win.
For sure. I think it goes back to like setting your intention too. I got that from yoga, and everybody, they always say like, hey, set your intention for this, set your intention for this. Like if you can only train, what's that?
Tactical yoga tomorrow.
Let's go.
It'll be my second class.
Downward dog and shoot.
Dude, I am not mobile, so it is. I sweat holding positions.
Oh, dude, it's the worst. Look at us. We're not designed to do yoga.
Well, I'm like short and compact too. Like you at least have some like leverage. I'm just like a ball that just mashed.
But yeah, I love that they say, you know, set your intention for the practice. And I like literally didn't even know what that meant for a long time. But taking it to jiu-jitsu, if you are the guy that only trains once a week, like you can't be in there half-assing your reps. You can't be skipping warm-ups. You only have this 1 hour or hour and a half to get all your training in. Like, can you be present for an hour and a half? And a lot of people, they unfortunately can't. You
got to be intentional.
Yeah.
And I think, and it translates to everything else you do in life. If you half-ass the gym when you're by yourself, what is your approach to your relationships with people, or how you approach work, or how you approach, you know? And it's always funny. The big scary guys who are always hitting it hard at the gym are always the nicest dudes, ready to tell you exactly how they got there.
I think same in jiu-jitsu.
Same in jiu-jitsu. You see the black belts and they're rolling, warming up, but they look like they're trying to kill each other. You go over there and like when I was at Isaac's, perfect example. I'm rolling with this dude and I'm like, oh man, I got it. He puts me in something. I'm like, oh no. I get out of it. And I'm like, oh man, I'm hanging on. Find out he's a black belt. Immediately that tells me he was going at my pace. He was letting me work and, you know, making me go through getting out of things, getting into things. But it goes to show you the type of person. He could have easily been like, okay, boom, ended me, next.
Yep.
Let me get a good roll. Come here, Cody Law or Cody Gamble. Or
right.
But he's willing to go that extra mile to help me sharpen my sword.
I think that's one of the things that you do wear on that black belt that you can't see is like when you get there, it's not a like you should give back. It's like I want to give back now. Like these last 10 years of my life have shaped me for the rest of my life, and I couldn't do it without the newest of white belts to the oldest of black belts. You know, I couldn't do it without any of those people and all of them in between. So I'm at a point now where it's like, okay, I really enjoy sharing what I love, giving back, helping other people grow. Like it's the best when you give a private lesson and then you come back for the next private and they're like, oh my God, that shit we worked on, it works. Like they're happy. I'm happy.
Yeah. So funny story. This was last year. There's this sergeant who, I can say this because he embraces it. Total nerd. Accident reconstruction. This dude can create a crash scene using numbers, and his reports are like 2 inches thick. Dude's insane.
Dexter.
He makes Dexter look like watered down, but obviously doesn't train, doesn't do physical training, doesn't do defensive tactics. We implement this defensive tactics program, and we're going over a shoulder pin on the ground to like use leverage to remove someone's arms from when they're under them. Something simple. And it was like a intro class that we were like, we're going to see where everyone's at. If the interest is there, kind of create buy-in, and then we'll gauge the intensity from there. Bro, 2 days later, I'm walking in the station. He's like, you're not going to, I used that on a call. Like, ask this. I'm like,
oh, nice.
You? I'm like, dude, he's like, yeah, and his arm came right out. We put it, Hank. I'm like, bro,
let's go.
Like,
right? Makes you feel good.
Make me feel amazing.
Yeah.
And he's over here elated.
Right.
And I'm like, see, like, you can do it. It's, like, we're teaching things that you can take and apply.
Right.
And you did it.
That's why I think, like, we're meant to have dopamine releases when you help other people. Because you get it as much as you give it in that same interaction too.
Oh yeah, totally. I think people's purposes are to help others. Mm-hmm. I think that's why community is always big. That's why relationships are big. Mm-hmm. I think our purpose is to serve others. Mm-hmm. And that sounds bad because of the modern definition of that, of I'm going to get taken advantage of, someone's going to use me. Right. But that shouldn't be a testament of what you're doing. That's a testament of what's being done to you. Mm-hmm. If everyone had your thought process, your mentality of looking out for the person next to me, can you imagine where society would be? In every industry, in martial arts, in jiu-jitsu, in corporate America, in insurance, in healthcare. Like it goes all the way up. If everyone had the same mentality, but what happens? We get beat, we get bruised, and now we shy away from, I can't open up, or I can't. If I look out for that, who's going to look out for me? It's like we put ourselves in this vicious cycle.
I'm trying to pull from the military. I don't know if I'm going to make sense here, but like if you get in trouble, don't the officers come up and like punch him in the face or whatever? Like it's one of your brothers that gets the actual
so the discipline, the punishment happens in different ways, right? So like if you mess up, everyone may pay the price.
Right.
Like if you forget your hat, you're supposed to have your hat on outdoors in the sun, because when you're in certain uniform, you forget your hat, you watch as your brothers have to run around the platoon, the barracks.
Right.
And that's almost like like you should have remembered your hat. You failed. Your punishment is watching the people you care about pay the price.
There it is.
And that's going to hurt you. Their punishment for not looking out for you and being like, hey bro, your hat, they have to run because every single one of them saw you without a hat.
Yep.
So they get very creative with how they administer these.
And I don't think they've actually come punch you in the face. Sorry. Next subject.
Yeah, well, that's not allowed, so that will never happen.
Right.
On camera. But no, you're creating soldiers and warriors to defend your country. Yeah, there's going to be unconventional methods of toughening, but
it's
it is
like
what it is.
It's that community thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's for the greater good. My first couple weeks, I thought I was hated. I'm like, why did I do this? This was the biggest mistake. And my problem was my mom didn't speak a lot of English at this time. So when I enlisted, I was 17, and I told her she needed to sign these packets for them to talk to me. She was signing my enlistment papers.
Yeah.
And I go off the basics. She has no idea. I'm at camp for the summer.
Oh wow.
Yeah. She had no idea.
And you come back
And
in
then-
shape and all that.
Well, she
She's
found
like,
out. Well, I
"What
came back and I was still in my uniform. And she's like, "We were supposed to go shopping." And I'm like, "Well, take me home because I don't want to be the douche who wears his uniform to go shopping."
Yeah.
But she's like, "What is this? Why are you what is going on?" And I told her, and she started crying.
Oh.
She's like, the military changed you. I just got back. I was at boot camp.
And be wear a fly uniform.
She's like, it changed you. Like, who are you? Where's my sweet son?
Aw.
I went to boot camp. I didn't do anything.
Did the military change you?
It instilled a lot of discipline that I hated being yelled at. I hated, I was the kid in school, always acting out, always trying to questioning the teacher. I spent a lot of time at the principal's office.
Yeah.
I hope my daughter doesn't hear this episode. But in the name of humor, right? In the name of
sure.
Why are you so serious? And I was that kid always pushing the envelope, and I literally thought I could do that in the military. No grown man is gonna yell at me.
God, yeah.
You don't know where I've been. You don't know
Right.
what I've been through. You're not gonna yell at me. That went out the window very quick.
So what was it like dealing with that, if you can remember? Because that turns your world upside down.
I remember I felt like my face was on fire. And they will go, I'm like, what? Do you want to hit me? Are you angry? Are you upset? All the things I'm thinking, they're like, say it.
Yeah.
And you're forced to say, yes, I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
Obviously, you
Sure.
word it differently. Why are you pissed off? And you have to be super vulnerable, and you can't do shit about it. You can't do shit about it. You're sitting there in line with this grown man yelling at you, and you're literally pouring your heart out. Dude, kids were crying.
Yeah.
Kids were crying. Are you scared? Yes, sir, I'm scared. Yes, sir, I'm scared. But what are you gonna do? You're gonna cry, or you're gonna be scared. It's just something you're forced to deal with, because you no longer belong to yourself. You no longer belong to your parents. You belong to the United States Army or the U.S. Marine Corps or whatever. That is who you belong to right now. You've given them, you've put them in the responsibility to build you. That's what they're gonna do. You just gotta trust the process.
Yeah.
That's what I kept saying. And I remember the way I got through it. I was like, I'm going to make it to lunch. I just got to make it to lunch. Then I made it to lunch, or chow as they call it. And then I'm like, I'm going to make it to the first PT day. I'm going to make it to the classroom. And then I'm going to make it to, bedtime. I'm going to make it to my fire watch. I'm going to you just create these small goals. Next thing you know, you're 3 months in, and you're talking about graduation. And I'm like, damn, I did it.
Yeah.
But it's the same with jiu-jitsu, man. People come in and I want to be, I want to be like tan or black belt. It's the first thing you got to do is come to class.
Yeah.
Then you got to hydrate, because now if you don't hydrate, you're gonna, then you got to, drill twice a week, or you have to create these micro goals to get you through the finish line.
Absolutely. I love what Dempsey said. It's 1,000 trophies,
and no one sees.
Nobody. Right.
And a lot of time we overshoot or undershoot our goal because that's all we're looking at. We're not paying attention to everything required to get there. Especially with fitness, people look at me and they're like, how much do you bench? Why does it matter? Right. 435, if you're wondering.
Oh, let's go.
No, but it's like, well, how can I bench 435? Bro, I don't.
Put 435 on and go try. No.
Yeah, I was like, bench 225. Get to 225.
Right.
That's a good benchmark. After 225, add 10 pounds. Oh, you failed? that's where you're going to be working at.
Right.
435 doesn't matter right now.
Right.
225 does, or 235.
Those, I think, so I don't really necessarily believe in motivation. I mean, yes, I could go look up a YouTube video and like get psyched, but that's only for like a small sliver in time. I think it's the discipline that actually gets you to where you want to and like the goals that you shoot for. I think it's the discipline. Because like for me, motivation runs out like super quick.
Motivation is spices.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like at the end of the day, discipline is what's going to get you to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Motivation is awesome. You know, like if you can be motivated every time you need to do something, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Right.
But it doesn't work that way.
Not at all.
I wake up, people look at me and they're like, oh, it must be nice you get to train 2 hours a day at the gym. I wake up at 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm done with my lifting. I read all before you're out of bed.
And what do you mean you get to? Like, no, you've carved that out. Like, you made that happen in your life. It's not like it was awarded to you.
I see, but here's the thing. I say I get to. I get to because not a lot of people get to train anymore. Like, my good friend can't do resistance training anymore because his muscles and bones are like, I get to wake up at 4 a.m. Yeah. You choose not to. I get to do that. That's something I get to do for myself.
Okay.
It makes me feel good. It gives me the look I'm going for. Mm-hmm. It helps my mental clarity. Like I get to wake up at 4 a.m. And that's the difference between me and someone else. You see it as a chore. Mm-hmm. I see it as a something I get to do, that I'm blessed to do, empowered to do. Like I get to wake up at 4 a.m. and go to a gym that's open.
Yeah.
There's people who don't get to do that.
Yeah.
They don't have access to a gym, or they can't afford a gym, or
I like that perspective.
I get to do that.
I like that
That's something I get
perspective
to do.
a lot. I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, you got it better. Like if my life was
You're
set up.
lucky for
if my life was set up like yours, I'd be doing the same thing.
That's the one I don't like.
Yeah.
Oh, must be nice.
Right.
What do you mean?
I think that's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, must be nice.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
You made this. You've crafted your life. You've molded it in rep after rep and day after day and morning after morning, waking up early. Like you did that shit.
My response to that is, must be nice not to give a fuck about anything. It must be nice to just want to be average.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you can do that, power to you.
Absolutely.
I've been cursed with, I try to better everything around me. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's annoying. I'm sure my friends hate me sometimes. I have a friend who she makes like lotions and stuff because she just doesn't like this commercial stuff that's out there.
Sure.
So she makes it in-house herself. Smells amazing. And I'm always like, hey, I'll pay you for it. I'm like, why don't you like make this a business? Make this like, she's like, I just do it for me. I don't like the stuff that's out there, so I make it. I'm like, but it's so good. Like you should market, you should push it. You should like, there's other people with this issue. You can help other people who have the same,
Yeah.
And she's just like, Ish, we don't all have the mindset that you do. I'm like, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Sometimes I can be annoying, or like, I met a dude, I was at a wedding. This was a couple years or 3 years ago. I was at a wedding, and this dude, I was just me and him by ourselves. And he was talking about how he came up with a concept for like spike strips.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like cars going down, you're chasing them and the people above. Yeah.
So like the concept was, it's like a rubber liner with like teeth you can put in, like little things you can put in that when they're rolled over, you can just replace them. I'm like, dude, that's genius. I'm like, what's it called? Like, I don't have a name for it. I'm like, well, let's think of a name. Even though you're talking about you want to start a real estate podcast, I'm like, Hall. How can we work with Hall? Houses, Hall, real estate. Like, it's just, sometimes it's a curse. It is. I'm always
hallways and homies.
Oh, halls and homes.
Yeah.
Homes and halls and homes. Oh, dude.
We could get stuck on this all day.
Yeah, we can. But that's the beauty of it. Like I don't have a creative brain, but you would think I do.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah. You definitely have a creative brain.
Well, okay, we'll
You
go
created
with that.
this.
This is being created as we speak. And this is only because of the people I sit on the other side. I just love to talk shit.
Yeah.
I love to talk and listen. So
Yeah.
I do more talking than listening, but
Are you one of those guys that doesn't like to take credit? I am.
I guess, I mean, it feels weird. I don't like compliments, if that,
Yeah. Same thing.
you know?
They make me feel weird. I'm like awkward when I get complimented.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, but you, and then I turn around.
Yeah.
I'll be like, look what you're doing, dude. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I hate myself.
Dude.
Is that it? Am I the problem?
No, but yes.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I was always invisible as a kid, you know. I tried to be invisible. You know, I didn't want to be seen because I was always like ashamed. But as I got older, I realized I had nothing to be ashamed of. You know, my mom busted her ass. I had new clothes for school. Wasn't Jordans and Nikes, but it was Shaqs. You know, I had the Dollar General polo shirts, fresh white. You know, the uniform pants. Like, I had new clothes. You know, and at that time, I'm like, man, this is Dollar General. Now as an adult, I'm like, dude, how many kids do I work with now that don't have a book bag to go to school?
Right.
They don't have pencils. They don't have a house to go to. I went to school with a kid who was living in a bus stop. He would sleep at the bus stop. And I didn't know that until we were like 3 years in.
Oh, man.
He was living there for like a year. I'm like, what? He's like, oh, don't worry. I'm going to get put in a home here soon. I'm like, who's in charge of that? Like, who? You know, and it blows my mind. Like, we take for granted a lot of things we have, you know. We have a car. It's not the new car. It's like, man, this car, you know, car gets you to work.
Sure does.
You can make money.
Yeah.
You get to pay the insurance on it because you can afford it.
Yeah.
You know, you get to put gas. You get to fill the tank every time. Like, that's cool. There's people who put $5 here, $10. You get to fill your car tank up. I bitch, and I do it too. I bitch about filling my truck up. I'm like, I get to fucking fill it up. I press go and I let it until it clicks. Like that.
Yeah.
That's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah,
a lot of
really
people
is.
don't get to do that.
Yeah. Recognizing that is a big.
It took a long
yeah.
time, you know, and you know, I always catch people bitching about shit. I'm like, why are you so hung up on this? And I get it. I'm not negating what you're going through right now, but like shift your perspective in the sense of there's people who don't get to do what we're doing. Like, we get to complain that DoorDash forgot our drink. We didn't have to go hunt and kill an animal and eat.
Yeah, that's such a good one.
We don't even have to go to the grocery store and wait in line.
No.
We can use these things and put, if I want, I can have a coffee here. You know, I can leave this, go to Chipotle and eat.
The conveniences are just like.
And then they forget your fork.
They're
How
sons of.
dare they, bro?
But those conveniences that we get so accustomed to and so used to. Let's bring it back to jiu-jitsu. That's why I love how it has shaped me, because like you said earlier, it makes you uncomfortable. It forces you to be uncomfortable. And that uncomfortability and how you deal with it will cascade throughout most all of your life, other aspects of your life. So learning how to deal with the shit and then having your micro wins in jiu-jitsu, then when you handle the shit outside of the gym, you're like, oh, wait, okay. I know that I just got to get through this.
And the confidence it builds. Like, think, this is the beauty of jiu-jitsu. You get close to snapping someone's arm, their limb. Like, and everyone thinks about it. Maybe I'm nuts.
Nah,
You go, I can snap this dude's arm right now if I chose to.
Yeah.
He gave me 2 taps that I'm going to I'm choosing to respect.
Yes.
To save his arm. Dude, that's beautiful.
It's incredible.
Like, I could demolish this if I wanted. I don't want to.
Right.
It's like this, I don't even know how to describe it, but we've created a mutual respect of when I tap you, you're going to let me go.
Yeah. Mutual respect, mutual trust.
Yeah, another thing, trust.
Yeah.
I am trusting. I am willingly going into this physical encounter with you, trusting that when my limit has been reached, you're going to respect it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, think about a choke. You're literally killing somebody until they tell you not to.
Yeah. Or I can put you to sleep forever.
Right.
And then even that, you don't. There's people who don't tap.
Right.
You feel that body start. Whoa, hey, bro, please wake up. Coach is gonna kill me. Like, yeah, start him up.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's this. You build this mutual respect, this mutual. It's this camaraderie of
right.
Like just it's a community of trust. A community. I do jiu-jitsu. I love violence, and when you can control it like that, it says a lot about how you carry yourself as a person. Like people think a dangerous man is someone who is trained in all this stuff. It's like the dangerous man is someone who's not trained, who hasn't been pushed, because he is unpredictable.
For sure.
He's gonna panic. He's not gonna perform well under pressure. He's like that's a dangerous man.
He's the one that's gonna stab you in the neck out on the street when he's scared.
Yeah. Like you come up and chest bump him, and you got a knife in your neck, like just because. Like
right.
There's been times where I've been punched and I've just been like, oh, there's like 10 of those guys. This is a fight I'm not gonna entertain. Yeah. That's only happened once. But I'm like,
you only back down from one 10-on-1 fight?
That's the only one I've ever been presented, dude. If I'm getting into multiple 10-on-1 fights, that's a testament of what the hell I'm doing.
But you're also sitting here today. You're not the guy going and chest bumping anybody.
No, dude. And like I'm the guy getting.
It
like
completely strips you of all that bullshit, all that bravado.
Ego. The ego gets checked in the gym. So when you come out here,
every time you step on the mat, I'm humbled. My ego gets a little bit smaller.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and. You were talking about this earlier, of like the different people in this community. There's people who never played a sport in their life, who never watched UFC. They played video games growing up and got into jiu-jitsu, and now they're monsters. You see this dude in the street, for example, Warren. If I saw Warren in the street, I would be like, he is a great dad. Yeah. Doesn't talk much. He's very to himself. Very non-confrontational.
Yes, I'll take fries and a soda with my burger.
He will murder you.
Will absolutely demolish you, and you won't know. You look at him, and he's so unassuming. My favorite are the women that.
I don't want to talk about that because my first jiu-jitsu class, a 120-pound chick almost made me reevaluate. No, she did actually. Yeah, made me reevaluate my life. She hung
sounds like
on
we do
me.
Need to talk about it.
I've told this. She hung on me, and then I stand up, and I'm like, I'm just gonna like rip her off. And every time I pulled a limb off, it just got something. I'm like, I got so tired. So and I was like, I'm gonna have to slam this chick. Obviously, you can't. And I'm like, I get on my knees, and then the timer runs out. I'm like, what the heck just happened? I'm 230 pounds. I shouldn't be getting beat up by a chick.
So my like the first time being humbled was Matt Wheeler when I got my first taste of jiu-jitsu. That's like the pinnacle. And then right beside that, it's 1 and 1A. Jessie Swanson. She's now a really decorated black belt, but it was out in Connecticut.
She made you stare off into space.
Oh man, it was like oh my god. Well, I remember, being in her triangle armbar and like, this isn't fair. Okay, let me start again. Like I'll tap. Okay, here we go again. Slaps on the same triangle armbar like 3 times in a row in the same roll. I'm like, a girl's doing this? What?
That's that ego being checked. A girl shouldn't be. Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Why? She's a dog coming out here in training mode. Like, if there's anyone who's going to put you in that, it's a girl. And
we had like Mary Orstein, Claire Butterfield, Jess.
Who trained?
Oh yeah,
dude, Jess, Britt,
dogs. Britt's a dog. There's just like
you couldn't pay me to fight Britt.
Yeah,
like you can. I don't know. She has the Lucas kind of just laid backness.
Yeah,
I fucking hate that about Lucas. He just walks in there, he's
what's
just
up, bro?
chill. Yeah, hey, I'm gonna punch you in the face real quick.
And then I'll throw a flying knee at you and knock you out
What
in front
side
of my friends.
do you want? And then he'll even tell you. He like,
Yeah.
you don't know? Okay. What? But that comfortability in that uncomfortable environment, that's what.
Do you know Misty from the gym?
I know faces.
Yeah, you would know her. She's all tatted up, purple belt. You ever
Desk?
Yeah.
Yep.
You ever see her Instagram? Bro.
No, I think I did one time
bro.
when it was like.
So take a gander. She like legitimately trains knife fighting.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm thinking.
Yo, it's scary looking at her like stab a bag and all these different like, and then to roll with her and know if she does get on the ground that she's just gonna do the same thing to you on the ground, just completely wreck your world.
Yeah. If there's a knife involved, I become Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the beauty. Like, and that's why I love when people are like, jiu-jitsu, do that in the street. If I can do this to you in a controlled environment, what am I going to do to you when I'm allowed to throw elbows and guess what? If I'm fighting for my life, I'm going for your soul. I'm not going to roll on a rule set.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this to my advantage.
Yep.
No arms, they're gone.
Yep.
Your chin gone.
Right.
Eyes gone. Nose gone. I'm taking everything.
For sure.
Like
For
people
sure.
don't understand. Like if you're telling. Oh
Yes.
I'll just black out.
Please. What?
It's like, wait, you're telling me you will lose control of
Right.
yourself?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be in full control?
I see
and
red,
calm?
bro. I see red. I go hard.
I never understood that. You're telling me you're going to lose control.
Yeah.
And I'm going to remain in control.
Right. Well, it's unexperienced people. The people that are scared of that are unexperienced. So it's like, it goes back to ego. You got two inexperienced people. One's got a big ego who's just making the other one cower. But if you give that little person a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of skill set, boom, their confidence goes through the roof, and then their ego shrinks. Man,
It's the ultimate equalizer, man.
it is. I want to ruffle some feathers. So
I'm just the host.
no.
I don't know where this is going.
So I think a lot of the MMA folk out there are going to be like, no, it's not a fight. I say I'm going to a competition and I'm competing, but like other people will say, yeah, I got to fight this weekend. Or I got to fight. I think jiu-jitsu is fighting, even if we're not throwing hands, elbows, knees, feet. And here's my reasoning. If I get into a street fight with somebody on the street, some random dude, I'm not going to start throwing hands, feet, knees, elbows. I'm going to fight with the jiu-jitsu. I'm going to use jiu-jitsu in that fight.
I 100% agree with you.
Oh, do you? Yes. I thought you were going to go the opposite way.
because this fight is a metaphor. Like, what is fighting?
Ooh.
And like that's what we got to get philosophy. We're gonna get into this mindset stuff. What is fighting?
So
if I'm throwing punches at you, I'm offering you a resistance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oftentimes we hear the metaphor and, dude, I had to fight as a kid. I had to fight for this life.
Mm-hmm.
I fought for this career. I fought for this job.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't throwing punches.
Yep. Right.
No, you encountered relentless obstacles,
Bing.
resistance, opposition. Like that's what a fight is to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I fought to get to where I'm at today,
For sure.
figuratively, and the other word for not figuratively. I speak two languages.
Unfigurative.
Yeah, unfiguratively, but
I'm right there with you.
and like you know, like I fought, fist fighting, but I also fought in my mindset and breaking out of my environment. Like that those are fights, you know. And I love when I hear the MMA, and it's always the MMA guys who don't really prioritize jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
Yeah. It's like, it's not a fight. It's just jiu-jitsu.
It's like-
I'm going to use that jiu-jitsu in a fight. So
Yeah.
what are we talking
so
about?
it's a fight. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna add some spice and some salt and some pepper. Like
3 pieces of soda.
yeah, like I agree with you in the sense it is a fight. Like we're not going to a fight in the sense of what you would consider a fight because you do MMA, but like, is boxing a fight? It's limited.
Yeah.
You can only throw punches in certain areas of the head and body.
Right.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You can not throw punches, but you can break limbs.
Yeah. Incapacitate people.
MMA. Yeah. It's also monitored. You can't amateurs. You can't ground and pound here in PA. You can't eye gouge. You can't, like, all of these are limited forms of physical violence. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why is one a fight and one not? They're all limited in some way.
Ish, I knew I liked you.
Dude, I keep it real. Not everyone agrees with me, but it is what it is.
Nice.
It's my show.
That's right.
No,
The Relentless
Project.
Project. I was going to say podcast. Sorry.
Well, the Relentless Project podcast. The path to success is relentless.
Love it.
Because why? What is failure?
Relentless.
It's not on there. It's not on there. You got to come up with it. What is failure to you?
So
someone comes up to you and they're like, I don't want to fail.
Yeah.
In jiu-jitsu.
Right.
What is it?
I'd be like, for one, you gotta. I don't like that. The typical definition of failure, right? It's like not achieving something, but you have to do that in order to achieve. So failing in and of itself is just learning.
Yeah. Is it a failure if you can pull a lesson from it?
Right. No.
If you can pull something you can apply?
Not at all.
And that's like where failure has become this thing people don't want to. Oh man, did you fail? You failed if you quit because you were scared and that's it. Like, but is it failure if you're like, hey, either you learned this isn't for me,
right,
or you learned a better, more efficient way to do it, or like most millionaires have failed 10 times before they
for sure
made $1 million.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
like, what is failure? You know, is it a setback? Is it a lesson learned? Is it complete stoppage of what you're doing? Like, failure to me is like, failure is if you have a sucker mindset of, I can't do it. If you say that word, you failed. You're right. You failed.
Yeah.
You're a failure.
Right.
Loser.
Yep.
And we don't do loser and no loser energy on the Relentless Project.
I love that. I love that
NLE
so much.
hashtag. But
NLE.
and and everyone's story that comes in here, they're pushed through that moment. And people think that you always are going to win or you're going to be successful. It's like, what is success?
It's all relative, man.
It's all relative to you. Like, and that goes back to that. If you're passionate about something and you're all in, you're pursuing whatever it is, I will have a fast food worker across from me. If they sat down and talked to me with a passion, and you talked about jiu-jitsu and real estate, or that Lucas talked about overcoming his confidence imbalances, or that Britt talked about when, you know, she had to decide from quitting her comfortable state job to go all in on MMA. You have that drive and passion for something. I want to hear about it.
Right.
Because I'm sure I can pull something from it.
Absolutely.
Like fast food industry. That's a tough industry. Why do you stick through with it?
Right.
How do you stick through? How do you deal with people bashing you through the window? Like, there's so many lessons you can learn. You know,
sure.
my first job, legit job, was Golden Corral.
Oh,
Bro, I apply the
man.
patience I learned from there and every day. People being mad at you because
that's wild.
It's an extra 50 cents for a soda.
Yeah. Why isn't the chicken out here?
Yeah, it's like, I came for the steak. Like, well, they're cooking. Wait. Wait 5 minutes for a steak that'll take you 40 minutes at a restaurant.
I've never been in this service industry like that. I was never a bartender or a waiter or anything like that.
Can I? Oh, dude, I would. Give me your arm.
Yeah.
Dude, that's when I'll be at the bar and I'll have my card out and I'll sit there and I'm like letting them know, hey, whenever you're ready, I'm ready. Then you get the dude next
over your shoulder too.
I'm like this, dude.
Right.
You can't wait.
Right. No, nobody can wait these days,
dude. But that's that's the people blow my mind, and in good ways and in bad ways. It's like,
for sure.
What makes you so entitled that you feel you can be this way?
Typically, their parents.
It all comes down to parenting. Yeah, no, I've talked about that too. It all comes down to parenting. You know,
Kind of. I think comes down to you, really. It's
decisions you make.
Yeah, dude, choices. It's a choice. Everything is a choice. If you want to boil down anything in the world, it's a choice. Go or not go.
Yeah, 0 or 1.
Right.
Do or not.
Yep.
I always use this metaphor. Me and my brother, love him to death. Good dude, bad decisions. Grew up in the same environment. Excuse me. Same mishaps. We had the same forks in the road. He was in and out of prison for 10, 15 years. I was not.
Yeah.
But, and it's that argument of nature versus nurture, or and he gone through some things that I didn't go through that I learned as an adult. But I also know people who've gone through worse things and have come out on the other end of it. And it's how, and it boils down to what resources you have available to. I'm not negating any of that, but at the end of the day, we are only in control of ourselves and what we can do, how we think, and how we approach situations. That is all we are in control of.
Right.
And if we start embracing that, I say embracing, leaning into that, owning that, not letting anyone take that from you in the sense of, this happened to me. Why did this happen to me? When I talked about, I filmed 2 podcasts. You're my second podcast today.
Oh, nice.
So we talked about this in the first one, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. It's like, as soon as we start, why did this happen to me? We start asking that why, that entitlement of why do I, like, you need an answer. Why? Why? What does it change?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. You lost your job.
Right.
The fact is, you are unemployed.
Yes.
You are not making money.
Yep.
Why? You sucked. Or we had to down cut. Or we went with someone else. The why doesn't matter. The why just feeds your victim mentality. It justifies, okay, that. But it does not change your outcome.
Right.
Why? Oh, we went with someone else, so we're going to offer you another job. And that's not how that works. No. So it's, okay, I got fired. I need to start looking for jobs. I need to change industries.
Yep.
I need to reevaluate my situation. Do I have enough saved? I'm going to actually keep off work now. This is a blessing in disguise. I'm going to stay off working and focus on my family, or focus on jiu-jitsu, or focus on, like, I'm going to reprioritize, reinvent, Those are things we can control.
And you can only control them right now.
Yeah.
Right? You can't control 10 seconds from now, right? Shit's going to happen that you can't account for.
You
can't control what happened 10 seconds ago, 10 minutes ago, 10 years ago. Let her go. Like, it's taken me a while, but like, I'm finally to a place where the past doesn't haunt me anymore. It doesn't have a grip on me anymore. And it's taken a lot of work understanding that, hey, shit, that the past might not even be real. This could all be a simulation. Who knows? But
I have an argument for that. Yeah, dude. Like, what is the past?
Yeah.
Like,
we can't drive our car there.
We're not there.
Right.
It's just a memory.
Right.
I can input another memory to you. Is that a past, or is that like? Now we're on Joe Rogan style right here. We start talking about aliens, dude.
And I had a therapist that was like this. He did an 8-week intensive like EMDR, but that's one that stuck with me. It was like, you're worried about the past. You're worried about this, this shit. Like, I was molested as a kid. You're still worried about that. You're carrying that with you 30 years from now. You may not even think it might not have even happened. I mean, it definitely happened, but it's like, you can't control that. You accept it and let it go. It's taken up way too much mental real estate.
You have to own it.
Have to own it,
and
right?
It's easier said than done, obviously. And that's where seeking out a therapist or seeking out a professional to help you, because the problem is we don't know how to manage it. It's assistance in managing that stuff. And I told this story in the last podcast that didn't even air yet. So it's crazy how everything comes full circle. The first time I went to therapy, actually one of the only times I went to therapy, was by mistake. It's by accident. I went through a traumatic, I experienced something at work that was crazy. And it was a little girl who passed away, and I saw her face everywhere. Like, I'd be at the grocery store and I'd see a little girl with her mom or her dad, And I'd be like, that's the little girl. And then she'd turn around again. I'm like, no. It was like the movies. You ever seen the movies where it's like that? Dude,
yeah.
I swear that's exactly how it was. It's the craziest thing. And I'm driving, I'm on patrol, and I see a sign for a therapist, and we have to do business checks at this department I was at, where we go in, socialize with people, to show that we're out in the community. So I'm like, I'm going to do a business check at this office. I go there. The secretary, the front desk person's like, oh, she's actually available. Like, she's not seeing anyone. I'll bring her up. She comes up. You see a cop. Hey, how can I help you, officer? Is everything okay?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, everything's fine. Can we actually talk in the back? She's like, yeah, sure. We go to her office, sit down. All I say is I see her everywhere. Or it was like, I see a little girl everywhere or something like that. And she didn't get like, who? Or, I don't know what happened, but she looked at me. She goes, tell me about this girl you see. I was there for over an hour.
Oh,
but I felt like a weight was off. I'm like,
every other Friday, I meet with my guy Mike. He's
what
the man.
got you to do that?
Yeah.
Like, what was the step for you to like, maybe I will do this? Because some people think it's a sign of weakness, or that ego starts playing in. It's like, I can take care of this. I can fix this. Or I have good friends who I can talk to. Like, what was that deciding factor for you to go, you know what, maybe I should see a professional?
So 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, I got divorced, and I had all these emotions. Like, I was crying every single day, and like little triggers were just the biggest deal. And luckily I had my family around me, which was nice. But my cousin Bree, she's more like a sister to me. And I would talk to her like almost every single day, and just really like pour out everything that was on my chest to her. And she's not a therapist because she didn't go to school for it, but she's the best therapist I've ever talked to. She's like, maybe you want to consider going the therapy route. I can only be available to you so often. And, I've got just my perspective, talk to somebody else and someone who's trained in it. And so thankfully, I think if anybody else would have told me to go to therapy, I would have told them to, fuck off. But because she
built that credibility with you.
Yeah. And it's the best thing that has ever happened, as far as like my mental state and building my mental fortitude, outside of jiu-jitsu.
It falls on that trusting someone else, right? Like, it's huge
for sure.
And I think that's important, is to be able to trust.
Yep. Kind of like you, when you weren't met with like she wanted to dive into what happened, like, and help you out. That's exactly what my first therapist was like. He's like, I'm here to help. Lay it all out. I promise you, you're not the only one that's going through this, that has gone through this, or that will go through this. Chances are I've worked with somebody like this. And,
that's what we talked about the last time is it's a huge resource, because this is what they do for a living. This is what their passion is. Like, they have reps, right? Like jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely.
If someone wants to learn jiu-jitsu, can they learn from me? Sure. I've been doing it for about 3.5, 4 years. You can learn something from me. Or do you want to go to Tanner, who's been doing this for a lot longer, exposed to it a lot more, has probably seen more techniques, adapted more principles.
Yep.
Probably want to go to Tanner. I can get you there. He can get you there. It's the same with like seeing a professional. Like, they've dealt with a lot of people, different personalities, different, characters, and
for sure,
they have a lot more tools to offer you than your friend who offers you advice when he's binge drinking. It's like, sometimes that works.
Yeah.
Talking, not the alcohol part, but like talking with a friend.
Yeah.
Other times, you just like, I found myself opening up. I don't open up a lot. I found myself opening up to someone, and then they fuck it up in my head. That's what I call it. And I'm just never mind. Like, not going that route. Like, don't even want to dive in there. But so when we're met with that hurdle, like, it's a very sensitive place to be. It's a very vulnerable is the word. Vulnerable place to be.
Especially for men, when we're supposed to be like super tough, nothing gets to us. We're like the protector and the provider of the family. Like, we can't be emotional. We have to be stern, right? And like, that's not me. That's not me at all.
That's the image, though. Yeah. That's the perception that's given. And that's another thing is people's perception. You know, like they see me, and I get this all the time. When someone like actually starts to come, they have like the audacity, like the confidence. And I say this as a joke because this is what people have described it to me. Like, I finally was like, fuck, you know. And then I'm like, oh, what's up, dude? And they're like, dude, you're actually like really nice. I'm like, did I ever do something to show that, you know, perceive that I wasn't? Well, no, you're just like,
there's big muscles in that beard, dude.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. You know, I'm usually tan. I beat my beard. I'm always lifting. And when I'm in the gym, I'm listening to, like, people look at me, they probably think I'm listening to like hard rock. It's like, I'm listening to like Cali pop or salsa or bachata or, you know, like bachata. Yeah, you know, people are like probably like, this dude fucking. I'm like, I'm there like this, or like drumming, and they're like, he's probably listening to like Metallica or some screamo band. I'm like, Juanita. But like, you know, so it's this perception that people have built, or projected, like either on you, and this also falls on like starting something new. The real estate industry. What was the news? You know, a lot of realtors quitting, a lot of agents. There's not a lot of inventory. So we put this projection up like, oh, that industry's tough to get into. Right. Or I can't sell my house right now.
Right.
Why would I hire an agent? They're gonna, you know, they're gouging us for money. It's like, do you realize the work I'm putting in behind the scenes to make this deal go ahead? Like, this is the beauty of it. You tell me I want to list my house. I tell you to clean your house. Unless you go above and beyond and you hire someone to clean it off our own money. Yeah. So essentially, this is how it works on my end. You want to sell your house? Cool. You moving out? Perfect. Pod ends up in your driveway. You have to load your stuff. Yeah, because I'm not going to fucking hire that.
Right.
You load your stuff. You move with your parents. And the next time you're contacted is to collect a check.
Right.
You think that's how easy it is to sell your damn
It's
house?
well, that's exactly like you're saying. That's the perception. Like, we don't work our asses off to sell your house.
It's like, I got to deal with the inspectors. The you know, the appraisal came down. Now what are we gonna do? Like,
you're the conductor.
Yeah. If I came to you with hey, appraisal came, you know, below. What do you want to do? I recommend this. No, I'm talking to the selling, to the list, to the buying agent. Like, I'm dealing with, I'm holding the floodgates so you can sit and fart on your mom's couch and collect a check at the end of this.
It's so true.
Like, it's so true. And not to hype up the real estate industry, but that's the shit we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, and people always go, listing so easy, listing
so
side.
Easy.
Easier.
Oh, you got a buyer? Oh, they're already looking for a house. I mean, what do you got to do? You just got to put in an offer for them, right?
Yeah. Yep. And then I'm going to collect money.
Right.
Like, that's how easy it is.
Yeah.
Dude, it blows my mind when someone's like, hey, I want to see this house. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, we're going to schedule it for tomorrow. Well, I want to go right now.
Good luck.
Like, okay, that's not how it works. Like,
right.
This is someone's house.
Right.
I got to contact this agent now because you can't wait for me to use showing time. I got to contact this agent. Now I got to, it's like, and then I'm only telling the story because it happened a lot.
I love real estate stories.
Dude, so I've been working with this client. I want to buy a house. I want to build a portfolio. I want as many mortgages.
Heard it a million times.
Dude, and I try to explain this like nicely. I'm like, bro, that's not the way to approach this. Like, you need to, if you want to build a big portfolio, you need to be more tactful in your approach. Like, that is when you're more, like, if you just want to buy a house and you don't care about an investment, this is like where you want to live because of location, whatever, offer whatever to get in, whatever. But you're trying to make a business of this and you're not doing your research.
I just want doors, man. I just want doors.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not how. So, you know, he's like, I want to put an offer on this house. Sends me an address. I'm like, okay.
Did you see it?
No, we didn't even look at it. Nothing. So I pull it up. It's not even on the market.
Okay.
It's like
awesome.
it's literally an address, like an Apple address he sent me.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let me see when the last time it was listed. Boom. Okay, it's been a couple of years. I'm like, oh, it's actually dilapidated. Oh, okay. We have no paperwork on this house, so we don't know what we're looking at. And you just want to put an offer, you know? So I'm like, okay. I was like, hey, I'm going to send you some forms because I've been hosed multiple times where I do all this work. So this it's going to be for a week. It's going to set up our relationship. And if you don't want this house, it expires, and then it doesn't matter. So as soon as I set up the buyer agency, I sent them all the necessary stuff. Oh, I just spoke with the realtor, and this is going to be a dicey one. What realtor did you?
I'm the realtor. Who else you talk to?
And then I'm like, what? And he's like, well, the listing agent. There is no listing agent. Well, the person who's going to be listing it. Like, do you know who you're talking? Like who?
Yeah.
That's my job.
The thing that baffles me is that the perception of it is like we don't have much to do. We're always available at the drop of a hat, and we're like you could just throw us away and go get another agent like that, right?
It's happened to me.
Yeah. I just can't. I can't take that side of the real estate industry, but you have to. You got to deal with it. You got to weed through those.
Take the good with the bad,
man. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, real estate. What a fucking industry.
It is. Jiu-jitsu helps.
Yeah, like if I didn't have jiu-jitsu, I'd probably blown my and that's another thing. When I wanna,
I should be in the fetal position right over there in the corner because literally all the deals I have right now are going sideways. But
and here you are talking ish on the Relentless Project.
That's right.
So that was gonna be the original name, Talking Ish.
That's a good one. It's probably already taken though, isn't it?
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
How many ishes do you know?
One. I know one.
Another one?
You.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So the last time I asked someone that, they're like, "Oh, I know another one." I'm like,
who?
Wait, really? Because that just ruined my point.
Right. Hey,
but
just stomping on my line.
It was supposed to be Talking Ish, but yeah, that industry is tough. If I didn't have jiu-jitsu, I would say my tongue would get me in trouble a lot. I wouldn't have the discipline to shut up when I needed.
That's a tough one. Especially knowing that you can just dismantle somebody.
Yeah, it's like
completely easily.
Old Ish would try to murder you.
Yeah.
New Ish could, but chooses not to.
Right. I always get caught up. I'm like, these verbal battles, I'm not good at them. I'll just fucking choke you.
It's loud in my head.
It's real loud.
Jiu-jitsu quiets it though. I tell you, when I roll, I'm not worried about bills or these clients, or I'm worried about the arm coming around my neck.
That's what Chris Hoyter says. I think he's got a coral belt now, or he's on his way to. But
was it the ADCC first coral? Did you hear about that? There was someone with a coral belt.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna be the longest episode.
Oh, how long are we going? Let's go.
We're at 153.
Oh.
So coral belt's what?
Coral
10 at black.
So it's it's
Jess told me, I forgot. So sorry, Jess.
It's like 30, 20 or 30 at black. Yeah, because your first stripe is 3 years, your second stripe's 3 years, your third stripe's 3 years, and then after your third stripe, it's every 5 years you get a stripe at black belt, and then you go up to coral, and then red and white, and then red.
And here I am complaining I don't have a stripe on my blue belt yet.
Just time, baby. Just keep walking.
Laser.
Nah, man. Just keep walking through that door. Everything else takes care of itself. You just walk through that door.
Wilkins put it in good perspective in the sense of, he's like, that dude who walked in the first day, like, could you take him? I'm like, oh yeah, I'd fucking murdered myself.
Yeah, that's
not like that.
Like I want to fight me from back then.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I'm like, well, that's a good way to put it, because Christian is
a freak, quote
unquote blue belt.
Yeah.
Everyone knows he's not, but I'm a blue belt, you know, and I find myself comparing myself with like Christian.
Yeah.
Oh, he's smaller.
Yeah, you can't.
He's younger.
Yeah.
He would rearrange my kneecaps.
Yes.
Like, it's just like, you can't really compare. It's like comparing apples to carrots. It's like, different game, different.
For sure.
Everything.
Sometimes it's like comparing apples to deer antlers, like not even the same realm, right?
Yeah, because everyone has a different motivation for training.
For sure.
He
For
wants
sure.
to do the jiu-jitsu thing like the whole way.
I can't compare myself to other black belts, right? I can't compare. When you're at any stage along, you have to, I love what Mike says, you have to compare yourself against the dude that first walked in the door, because then you lose track of like, then you start comparing. That's where I get myself in trouble when I'm comparing, like even in real estate. I look at the standings. I'm like, fuck, why am I breaking top 250? Like I need to be up there.
Oh,
like,
dude. That is so true. We have an awards ceremony every year, huge party. And then they put everyone, and I'm like, how much did you clear? What? Like, that means 1 month for you was my year.
Yeah. Those ones suck for me, because I'm like, oh shit, I got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I get it. It's not my full time, but I'm like, I'm getting after it when I can. And
Yeah.
that's the number. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? But then you realize
Selling compounds in Swickley.
Yeah. Well, then you realize there's people who have teams who aren't like agents, you know, they're support staff. And they're like, and you're like, well, we're both 1-1. How are they clear? But it's that perception thing. Dude.
Right.
Perception is evil.
Oh my gosh.
Evil.
It's everybody's reality until reality hits them.
Social media.
Yeah.
Everyone's highlight reel. You see this dude. You probably seen him. Have you seen the dude who always rolls on like the sweatiest wet mat? He's got like longer hair. It's been popping up on my Instagram a lot. And he always does like he like starts on his back and kicks up.
Yeah.
And he always shows like the craziest of a technique. And he's like, oh, that's what you do. Boom. And like the comments rip him apart. He just got his ass whooped in the cage. And they're like, you do all this and you didn't last 2 minutes in the first round.
Right.
It's that perception. Like, are you training hard, or are you posting a highlight reel on social media?
It's crazy. Like the more followers you get, the more clout you get. That's the perception that they are perceiving of you, is that you know your shit.
You're better.
Right.
Or,
You're better. Oh my gosh, everybody follows him. Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I learn from him?
And that was tough starting a podcast, because you got a lot of podcasters out there.
I like what you said. I'm going to cut in here. Sorry. But most podcasts only last how many episodes?
20, I believe it was 21 or 22
and
episodes.
then they fall off. And
Yeah.
then and you've already surpassed that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
Hell
But it's like, they got a bad rap, you know, because you get a guy with a mic and he says a one-liner and people are like, what do you even mean?
right.
And then you realize he doesn't even have a podcast. He records 15-second videos.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing like, oh, this dude actually is like a piece of garbage in real life. And I just, but social media has elevated everyone, you know, to a point of where like everyone, and I think everyone has a story to tell, but everyone has this sense of entitlement of like, people want to listen to what I have to say.
So we were talking about like our obesity problem and addictions, and like sugar's probably the number one killer, right?
Sugar is.
So I would say sugar's the number one addiction. I would say the number two addiction, now I'm not, just it's just me riffing, is that fucking like button. Getting likes. How many likes can you get? Oh, people always checking their phone, especially like the influencers.
You know what? No, you know what it is? That blue check mark.
Oh, that you can buy now.
So check this out. I conducted a very short study. I was going to do this for the year, but it came up. So I would reach out to people that I want to be on a podcast. They would open it, not even pay it, not whatever, you know. I've had this check mark for maybe 3 or 4 days. 3 or 4 days. And I always thought it was so cheesy. I'm like, you can pay for this. Like everyone, I'll see a blue check mark, like something of mine, that like thing, right? And I'm like, oh, dude, who is this? I click it. Like 1,000 followers, 2,000. I'm like, I got more followers. I'm like, oh yeah, it's that. Yep, they bought it. Okay, like, and I put myself in that like, okay, I understand. I was like, I'm gonna try something. I got the blue check mark, paid for it. 15.
How much was it?
1606 after taxes.
Oh, nice.
Like $16.
Yeah.
Every single person I reached out to wrote me back after a few days.
No kidding.
After being left on red. Oh, bro, my bad. I got it. Literally the same. I'm like, huh, it's funny. It's fun. Now I'm perceived as something because I paid $16 for a blue circle next to my name.
Wild.
So I'm going to keep it.
You should.
I'm going to keep it.
I'm thinking about buying one myself.
But like, think about it. I'm like, this blue thing now cost, and I don't know.
It makes you verified. You're verified.
Yeah, caveat. I don't know if that's why. Maybe they all really just were all busy and then all wrote back to me around the same time. Could
Probably
be a thing.
not.
But as soon as that blue check mark came in, it was like, oh, dude, I'd love to be in your, y'all put me on. I'm like, I'm actually booked out now because I don't wait.
Yeah. Right.
Like I got stories to listen to. And
It's wild that make people take it
it's a perception,
seriously
bro.
after the It,
You know
it
that
is.
the like button. This person has 100,000 likes. They're a big deal.
Yeah, the followers, all of the statistics.
Oh, everyone's a business page now, so they can track how many people. Dude, social media is like a poison, man.
It is a poison.
It's a poison.
Here in America. Did you hear what the Chinese version of TikTok?
Oh, it's like educational
Dude,
stuff.
all they do is pump out their explore page is STEM, science, technology, engineering, and whatever, math. Yeah. Yeah. And then us, it's getting us dumber.
Bro, I saw a TikTok of someone doing this. And then they would throw like a high five and like emoji, and they'd go, millions.
Oh my God.
I only know about that because my buddy at work was like, bro, you see this shit? Like,
millions?
this is a thing on TikTok. I'm like, what?
What's that called?
NP.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
NRP, non-role player? No. NP, non-active player? No. NPV. They were using it as an insult in comments.
Right.
You know the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I know. I do. It's like LARPing, like live action role play.
Yeah. But these people were like, not.
Right. And he's just going like acting like one of those.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was it. And I'm like, this is the stuff we're overindulging in.
And he's probably making a lot of money off of that.
Blows my mind, dude. Blows my mind. And then I have when I was in Salt Lake, there was this guy I had a conversation with who's selling jewelry. He was talking, dude, blew my mind. I asked a question, then he brought up Kanye's album being pulled, and then we got into like the rabbit hole, and then we ended up talking about how everything is math. And I'm like, he's like, I think I've solved quantum physics. Math, I can solve math with me and my team have discovered how to solve math with vision. And I was like, he said, well, think about it. Everything we do is math. If I throw you a ball, it's coming at a certain velocity. You're looking at it at a certain velocity. The decision of you for the time it goes to your brain, for the time it tells your body to actually reach out, that's a position, that's a map, that's a plane, that's all equations. We are solving trigonometry and calculus and with our vision every time.
Okay.
But I sat there, I was like, you're not wrong. I'm like, hold on, you're
Right.
not wrong. If I decide to punch you in the face, I'm calculating distance.
For sure.
I'm calculating position.
You know what
force.
You know what my argument is? And we're gonna really do Joe Rogan now. Yeah, that works. That works in 3D, in 3 dimensions. Do you think there's only 3 dimensions? Like they say, like octopi, they experience like 12 dimensions.
So what is that?
I have no idea.
Because the 3 dimensions would be
I think you have this
here in depth, right?
Right. And then I'm probably going to get this wrong, and this is probably incorrect. But I think the 4th dimension is you looking at that. And then the 5th dimension is you looking at that. I think I could, but I'm dumb.
Hold on. Now we're on.
What is the 4th?
Now we're on the Joe Rogan
What were the pyramids for?
Bro, do you know the Great Pyramid, the base matches with the circumference of the earth if you multiply it by pi? That may need to be fact checked, but
Did you know they have not found a single mummy in any of the pyramids?
No lie. Look at the last thing I had on my
Nice.
the one with Lucas Siebert. They haven't found a single, like a pharaoh in the pyramids. What is the fourth dimension? Four-dimensional space is the mathematical extension of the concept of three-dimensional space. Three-dimensional space is the simplest possible abstraction of the observation that one needs only three numbers, called dimensions, to describe the size or locations of objects in the everyday world. I don't know what that means.
It's too much for
My brain. We tried. So fourth dimension is math.
Yeah. Lots of math. And then the fifth one is also math. So yeah, your guy's right.
So there's 100 dimensions.
Shit, he's
math.
right.
Dude, he went off on like a tangent that I can't even regurgitate. And I was confused, but it made sense.
Yeah.
And everything in life is a pattern. Everything. And I believed it because me and Will were talking about striking patterns and how they... Oh, he's probably going to fucking kill me. Nice. I don't know if he said to mention this or not. No, because we were supposed to talk about it on the podcast. So out of respect, I'll mention that, and then I won't mention anything more.
Cool.
So striking patterns resembles drum beats and drum patterns.
You know how good of a drummer he is, right?
Is he like phenomenal?
He's a metal drummer. The hardest type of drummer you can beat.
So that makes sense as to how he went off on this tangent. So he's like, when you're hitting rhythms and then kicks and then using your feet, it sounds like it's not, but it's a pattern. And he showed me this. There's this video on Instagram he actually shared, and it was like 4 squares, right? So the 4 squares is, let's say, you stepping. And then every time you're at the top right, or 3, right? 1, 2, 3, that'd be 4, you punch. 1, 2, 3, punch.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, punch, kick. Then punch, kick.
Right.
And then now that's rhythmic, right? But now every other 2, you'll elbow. So now it's 1, 2, 3, punch, kick, elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, elbow. Yeah,
right,
you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I just confused myself. But it's a pattern that you don't recognize, but I have established. And he started breaking down like fights in the sense of patterns. And I was like, holy fuck, that makes sense.
I need to do a break. I want to
talk to Will.
I know. I want to talk to Will. And I interrupted a session where Mike was teaching Britt and Michael how to watch fights. And I wish I was there for the whole session.
Well, guess what?
Just like,
I may or may not have been asked to be on Listen to Your Coaches.
oh, let's go.
So I'm going to literally be like, hey, how do you watch fights?
Yeah.
I watch a lot of UFC fights. Teach me how to watch them.
I love it.
But literally go to Will and be like, hey, Ish mentioned fights and drum patterns.
Yeah.
And he's going to...
he's going to go...
Yeah, dude, and like the episode ended and we got into this conversation for like 20 minutes. I'm like, why couldn't I be recording it? Like, fuck. Because I forgot to talk about it,
Yeah.
But everything's a pattern. And this kid in Salt Lake was talking about, he had this software where he would create an equation and then press play. And it would look like jumbled mess, like just lines everywhere. And then he would zoom out and a pattern would start, like diamonds started forming, and then circles from the diamonds, and then
I think
after it repeats for so long, a pattern starts to appear.
Oh, that's neat.
Bro, it blew my mind. I don't even know what that's called, but life is patterns.
Just 2 sober guys talking about high shit.
Yeah, seriously. Fuck. Who needs mushrooms when you can just be high on life?
Be on the Relentless podcast.
Be on the shit. I'm like, now I want to Google it.
Yeah, I could. There's a bunch of things.
This is why I wish I had my own studio with a producer. I'd be like, hey, call that dude. Call that dude and phone him in.
Right.
Like, hey, tell this guy what you told me. And he'd be
You
like,
could do it on your
I know, but
thing.
I don't even know how to set it up.
That thing.
But yeah. What's the future hold for you?
Future, if I got my crystal ball and I'm done working, I have a portfolio of probably apartment complexes or strip malls one or the other. A few homes around the world that are like vacation homes.
Did you take a look at my playbook?
I didn't. Me, Brie and I, my fiance, we went like one Airbnb in 6 locations around the world. So we could just like go live in 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months.
You know, you make money off it. And when you want to visit that place, you just don't book it.
Exactly.
And then you have the cleaning team that you've hired just clean after you and you leave.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a win-win.
So if I have a crystal ball, I'm not working, but actively have, passive income coming in. I got my own jiu-jitsu gym and I'm teaching mostly little kids, probably more of a family style jiu-jitsu gym than like super competition,
like fight
focus. Yeah.
A competitive, in the sense of competitive, like competition pushing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So where? I don't know.
What do you call a jiu-jitsu gym? Is it a dojo?
No, I don't call it a dojo.
I don't know. It's like nails on chalkboard. Like, oh, your dojo's stout. And I'm like, my gym.
Yeah. I call it gym. I like.
So what would your dojo be?
Well, I like club. I like club.
What would your dojo club be?
My dojo club. The Jiu-Jitsuist Jiu-Jitsu Club of jiu-jitsu. All dojos. I don't know. I don't know that either. I've always thought Swickley was a cool place to open up. So Swickley Jiu-Jitsu Academy or club.
Okay, so in the area.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to be here for my whole life.
Why? It's cold.
That's why.
Like, I'm over this cold shit, man.
That's why.
I'm warm-blooded. I need
Dude.
I need like sun rays. And can you imagine this 230-pound beast on a beach?
You're getting me hot here. Come on.
Just like, bro, I love it. You would never pick. And that's the thing. People look at me, bro. I'm in my shorts. I'll be on the beach with my feet out, my toes all
banana
out.
hammock. Look at you. I know you.
I know you. I ain't got the body for that. If I did, maybe. But
what? I want to be
the very best.
I kind of tread lightly when I say this because like you can't. I want to be happy, but I think you build your own happiness.
Oh, happy's definitely a journey that of never-ending pursuit.
Right. Right.
And that's where you set those little goals that are achievable that bring happiness.
Right.
If you make a big goal and you fail it, you tend to be unhappy. If you set a smaller goal, that'll take you to that bigger goal and achieve happiness.
And incrementally, get those small wins.
And it's being surrounded by good people. That's what I found my happiness comes from. You surround yourself by good people, good things happen.
Especially with the baby coming, like all I've been really, I have a lot of podcasts and my Explore page is all full of like parenthood and fatherhood shit now because Bree just starts firing away with DMs and we're going back and forth with like parenthood DMs and cool and stuff like that.
Like seeing, dude, nothing gets me more like choked up than seeing like something with kids. I just saw a video that I was sent of this kid hugging Winnie the Pooh. And the mom's like, wow, like she starts crying and she's like, okay, he needs to see other kids. And Winnie's like, and like just hugs this kid. And they're like,
buddy,
Winnie needed this hug as much as this kid. And this kid's just like all in.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's like pure innocence. It's like, that's it. And that takes me back to a time of like, well, we didn't worry about anything. Like we were in good hands. We were taken care of. Everything was safe. Like no worries. It's like kids, man. I love it. It's like pure bliss.
I think it's the Business Hacks Instagram account. They come out with like, here's 10 things that no one's going to tell you. But one of them that struck me, and especially now, is that the family you create is more important than the family that you came from. Maybe not necessarily more important, but like, well, that's what they say. More important. I have yet to experience it yet, but I kind of get where they're going. We're like, you have your family, but then you have your family. Yeah.
Well, I think especially once you get married and you create life like that, that is your family. That becomes your responsibility. You know,
right.
because your family created that already. And the goal is to get you to do the same thing. So once I think you're on that level, like now that is your family.
Yeah.
Like that is your unit.
Yeah.
You become the Halls. You become Mr. and Mrs. Hall, and this is Hall's daughter or son. Like you've created a unit. It's like I think there's beauty in that.
Yeah.
You know? Like
creating your tribe.
And I didn't like that wasn't my goal. And then I got this little girl I'm responsible for. Now I'm like,
bro, I couldn't imagine having a kid at 18.
Bro,
I couldn't imagine having
my
a kid
mom
at 26, and I'm 36. Like,
you're 36.
Yeah.
Damn. No, I'm kidding.
come on.
You don't look 30. You don't look 36. That's why I was like, 36. Damn, look at that. Oh, so you're saying there's your chance.
Yeah.
But no, my mom was huge in helping me bring my daughter up. There's a saying in Spanish, hijo fuiste, padre será. It's a child you've been, a father you'll be. And she said that to me when I was being an absolute fucking asshole to her. She was saying like, everything you've done to me will be done to you by your kid. Yeah. And I'm seeing that now, dude. My daughter trains jiu-jitsu, so I could fight her.
Good.
I could fight her legally. It's not abuse because she could defend herself.
She knows how.
Yeah, I'll tell her, I'm like, I will, dude, we'll be in this is how, I'm going to get canceled here. We'll be at the stores, and I'll be like,
pay attention.
I'll be like, I'll fucking punch you in the face. She'll be like, do it. Do it. And she'll be
That's
like,
great.
Do it. And then like families will walk by and they're like, and I'm like, oh damn, Jenna, people are gonna think I like. And she's like, you won't. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, why'd you do that? Like,
she got you.
Yeah, I'm like, why'd you do that while there are people around? She's like, well, I mean, you started it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, technically, you did for making me want to punch you in the face. That's our relation, dude. She's cool.
That's so cool.
But like, you develop your own relationship with your kid, you know, and like, you start to see yourself, and then like, or you know, her mom, and then you're just like, depending on your relationship with the mom, it can be like, oh, babe, or damn it, man, like I see your damn mother in you, you know, like so it's crazy. Like,
I got that same advice yesterday. I was doing an Instagram live with she wasn't officially my life coach, but she was my life coach. Jen Ferris. Shout out to Jen.
Shout out.
Yeah. She, that's what she said. She's like, once you start seeing your shitty tendencies in your kid, it like hits you like a ton of bricks in the face.
It makes you reevaluate. Dude, you ever seen the videos of the kids? Like, you know, they'll be playing a game. The one was, the football, they're watching football and the opposite team scored, and this baby was like, shit. And the dad's like, well, what? He's kind of like proud, but like, what the fuck? Like, you used it appropriately, but where'd you get the swearing from? Oh, me.
Man.
I'm swearing in front of my kid.
My family tells a story all the time, and I'm sure I got it from my dad. But I was like 3 or 4. And my grandmother wouldn't give me a 4th cookie. I called her a bitch. It's like 3 or 4.
And my mom would have fucking murdered me.
My grandma was an angel. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I like my mom's short Puerto Rican, so.
Oh.
I caught her hand one time. She was beating me, well deserved.
Yeah.
And I caught her hand to show her like, I'm grown now. Like, this doesn't. And I immediately let it go. Dude, she beat the brakes on. And then she told everyone I hit her. She's like, this motherfucker thinks he grown now. He just hitting me now. I'm like, I never hit you. I caught your hand. Dude, dramatic. The most dramatic. Yeah. I caught her hand, and you would have thought I like spit in her face.
No.
I'm like, damn, dude. Like
Puerto Rican heat.
Even till this day, she's like, oh, you think because you're a cop, you can do what you want? I'm like,
use that against you.
Bro, I'll go to Erie, and I'll like, sometimes I'll crash at her place, but I'll go out with my boys. She was like, I want you here at this time. Yo, I'm 30. I have a key. She's like, this is my house.
Yeah.
You want to stay here? You're going to abide by my... I'm like, huh? Dude, I will smack this shit. No.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, Mom.
Yeah, before you get the...
I'm kidding.
Before you get those letters out, you're being smacked.
I'm like, I'm fucking 30. She's like, I'll wait up for you. Till 2 a.m.? It's going to be a long one. She's like, I don't sleep anyway.
Why are you doing that to yourself, Ma?
I literally walk in. She's like, Is that you? Yes, it's me. Okay, good
Where were
night.
you?
I'm like, she really waits up, dude. It's like, but like,
that's good.
you're always a parent, you know? Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not there yet. Like at that, like,
Yeah.
but you know, not the bad thing. The crazy thing was I had a kid at a young age, right? It was tough. It was hard. A lot of tough years. But you know, in 9 years, my kid's an adult. In 9 years, I'm not even 40. Like I get to go play sports with my kid. We can go travel with my kid.
That's so cool.
Like that's the way I look at it, in a sense of like, wow, like yeah, it was tough, but like I can make amends now, you know.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, I'm a little worried about that.
Nah, because think about it. Like how many 60-year-olds roll at the gym right now?
Yeah, well,
Or run or you know, if you're always moving and you're conscious about what you're eating and putting in your body and dude, 60s the new 40, 40s the new 30, 30s the new 20. Like I was devastated when I turned 30. Then I realized 30 is me at 20 with more money.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Maybe it won't be too bad.
Shit doesn't change much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Except,
like shit don't change, you know.
Yeah.
I just get to do more things now.
Yeah.
To have more money.
Yeah. And more wisdom.
More wisdom.
You won't want your 20-year-old brain. I wouldn't want mine.
Bro, there's stories I can't tell on this podcast.
That's where we're in now.
Yeah. Well, we'll end it with, do you read or anything?
So I'm not a big reader. I'm a big podcast listener.
What's a podcast? You can only recommend one, not the one you're on. What's one podcast you recommend someone to listen to get their juices flowing?
Oh, get their juices flowing.
Their life changed.
I mean, I don't. Obviously, Joe Rogan, but like that's an easy one. Ed Milet has a good podcast. Lewis Howes' podcast is really good. He's got a lot of people on from completely different walks of life with very different upbringings. And
stole my idea, I see. Original, I know. Huh?
Yeah, but like there's a lot of like come from nothing, now I'm a success story in his Lewis Howes.
In the streets, it's started from the bottom.
Now we're here. Started from the bottom. Now the whole team. Are you a fan of the whole team thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah. And this is the thing. And now we're gonna be back in a conversation.
Yeah.
But
I will let you end this.
It's me always trying to better things, right? Like I truly, if you've been with me from day one, I will bring you up. I promise you. And that you cannot pay for that. You cannot pay for my loyalty. You cannot pay for what I have to offer. And this is the thing, man. I've been looking. A couple people have reached out for sponsorships. And I was like iffy about sponsorships because it's so new. Yeah. But I also I freaking pay to travel.
I was gonna ask you if you start monetizing this thing yet.
Not yet. Yeah. You know, it's I'm on the brink of it. You
know, buy
like,
a hat. There you go.
So I'm working on merch. I am working on merch, but I'm on the brink of like, do I bore people with ad plug here? And like, if I do accept sponsorships, it's stuff I will use or will recommend. And I just happen to, we have a partnership, right? So I was a specific company. I won't mention who out of respect for them because we have a good relationship. You know, we're talking about partnerships, right? And I bounce off some ideas where I can be of use. You know, I don't make money on this podcast, so I'm like, I can offer you so much more. Like if we put a dollar amount to what I'm willing to offer you, you can't afford me. I'm willing to offer you that so long as we partner. You know, I'll do this for you using my, and I got to be tactful because if I talk about the things I've offered to do, you'll know exactly what it is. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
But I'm like, these are the things I can do for you. Yeah. Essentially, I'm working for you.
Right.
And all I ask is you allow me to be present. Allow me to be present. I'm not asking for no videos, not like just allow me to be present and do what I'm gonna do. Well, they came back with, oh, we can do this, we can do prints. It's gonna be $500 an event. I'm like, did you not get like I don't make money.
Yeah.
Like if we want to put a dollar, like I'm not gonna pay to work for you because everything I'm doing benefits you. It doesn't benefit me.
Yeah, man.
So it's like that. You start with me, you trust me.
Yeah.
We can build together. And then when we're both up there, we can talk money because I'm going to have all and I don't care about money. I don't give a damn about money.
Yeah.
My bills are paid. My family's taken care of. My money's going to my friends, charity, people I can help.
Love that.
So if you've stuck with me from the beginning, you're getting my money. Like I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if I hit the lottery, the first thing I'm doing, one, disappearing, and two, all my friends were taking a trip.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of mortgages are going to be paid the next day.
Like everyone's about to be, everyone's about to be set. Yeah. So I don't know how I got to that.
Well, I asked you, are you a fan of like bringing up?
Yeah, dude. Money can't buy loyalty.
No.
That comes from putting the work in, putting the reps in, that trust,
For sure.
meaningful conversations, good intention. You can't put $1 on that because as soon as you start putting $1 on that, someone that offers an extra $1 and it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have a lot of people in your life that are there from the beginning that you would bring up with you?
From the beginning, I don't have nobody.
Yeah.
Not a single person. Yeah. Cool. Maybe my family. Definitely my family, my mom. But
for sure.
As for friends, when I became a cop, I lost a lot of friends. I dream too big for most people, so they tend to, dude, you're gonna do this, or wow, you're gonna waste money doing that, and then they disappear.
It's hard to. That's
nobody. I don't have a single person.
That was the biggest thing that I had to get over, especially with like high school friends. We're in the fantasy football leagues, and like we get together and we do this, that, and there's a lot of them that are like, yeah, I'd die for you. I'd take the shirt off my back. And the older I get, it's like, I'm not necessarily on the same wavelength as you guys anymore. I love our time together. I love riffing with you guys. I'm probably not going to turn to you guys for advice. I'm going to go into this different room that I've created.
So that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
From the beginning, I don't have nobody.
Yeah,
but there are people I met recently.
Yeah.
Or a little bit ago, that I will bring to the fucking moon if I get there.
Right. Right.
And here's a crazy concept that people don't know. This illusion of time.
Oh man.
If someone's been there from the beginning, have they? Have they been an anchor, a crutch, a obstacle? Like just because they've been there, someone can have better intentions for you that you just met than someone who's been in your life for a decade, 2 decades.
One of the sayings that stuck with me, and I'm going to butcher it, but it's like the only people that are rooting for your success are the ones that are more successful than you. You know? Why
are strangers louder for your success than your closest friends?
Yeah, for sure.
Bro,
they're too close to it.
I was making, I had a supplement company. It was called Valor Labs with a good friend of mine. And bro, a lot of money invested in that. A lot of money. And my friends, and not all of them, but a certain group of friends would ask me for discounts on the supplements. But they were paying 3 times the amount for something less quality at GNC.
Happens in real estate all the time.
Yeah. And I'm like, bro, you want to see me succeed? You want to see me like, you won't even buy like my products that I'm offering? And guess what? If you buy it and don't like it, I will never ask you to buy it again.
Right.
All I'm asking is for you to try it because I know what we put together.
Yeah.
Just try it.
Yep.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Dude, there were people who wouldn't even do that.
That's crazy.
And then I'd meet people. You're like, oh, dude, like, whatever. We'd chat it up or whatever, riff, as you say it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, dude. And then I'm like, yeah, I got the supplement. You got a supplement company, bro? Like, how much I'll buy it right now.
Yeah.
And then they bought every single time. Never asked for a discount, nothing. A person I just met. And I'm like, make that make sense.
I had my business partner, shout out Jabel Warren. He's a life spacer. So
Remax. No.
we had an Airbnb management business together, and we sold it last year. But you wouldn't imagine, or you probably do imagine, the amount of friends that I had reach out, go, hey, can you comp me a weekend at an Airbnb? I'm like, no. What? No.
That defeats everything I've built.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you get to like be convenienced, and why do you get a benefit off of my hard work? I don't understand. We're not on the same wavelength. Because I've known you since 5th grade doesn't mean that like you're still that dude in my life.
Yeah, that's so true. Mm-hmm. And if we have a relationship where I scratch your back, you scratch my back, that's a whole different thing. Mm-hmm. But we always see this with the people who ask a lot, who like it's always one-sided. Like I've given my everything for this person, and you're asking me for favors. Mm-hmm. I'm like, like what? How about this? You support me when I get big. You've established yourself in my life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And not to say I'm anything special, but like I know what I bring to the table. Mm-hmm. I will eat alone any day because I know what I bring. If you're willing to sit at my table and eat the scraps with me,
yep,
I will have no issue feeding you later.
Yeah, trust me, there will be a fillet there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Trust the process. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people see the fillets on this table, and it's like the buffet, right? They're not going to wait for the steak to come.
Yeah,
they're gonna. Oh, there's chicken over there. The steak's not here. I'm going to go over there.
Yep, for sure.
And then that tenderloin, juicy,
get some of that.
But you missed out on it because you couldn't wait, or you didn't want to wait.
Right. Or all you were was talk the entire time. Like it's not hard to. Oh yeah, go get him, buddy. You got this. Yeah,
that's true.
It's hard to go. Hey, let me help you get there. I don't care what I got to do. I'll help you because I love you. There's very few people out there.
Bro, you know how many I do like logos and branding and marketing. You know how many companies I've created logos for that have taken off for free? And it's not about money.
I like your logo. I was going to ask you about that.
I made it.
Nice.
Yeah, I made it myself.
So cool.
I created this logo, this branding kit for them, and they've taken off. They're super successful. And like they don't look back. Not like hey dude, like let us throw you a bone now that we can. Mm-hmm. Like you did this on your own time for and not even money, but like anything. Or like a attaboy, or which I don't need, but it's the principle for me in the sense of like I created this image for you. Like you did the hard work, obviously. Like you built this company and stuff. But I created this image for you, this branding, which is very important.
Yeah.
And then I see you out and I don't even get a heads up, like a what's up or something. Cool. Bet. I don't hold grudges. Yeah. I put a note. That's it. Yep. Cool. Whatever.
Check them off the list. Move on.
Because every time they circle back. And then guess what? They're just going to get the same energy from me.
Yeah.
All love, all respect, but no investment. You've lost that access to me that you had.
Absolutely. You probably get it now with the podcast blowing up and everything. Dude. You got, old friends. Hey, what's up?
Can I get on? Boys. Yeah, it's like, all right, tell me, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
I just want to be on it.
Yeah. I just want to get exposure.
It's like, I don't offer exposure. I offer a platform for you to expose yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if you get on my shit, you're going to look like a fucking fool. Like,
you're going to sit there, he'd be babbling over, talking in circles, and
it's like,
not having any topics.
I don't bring anything to this. I bring a camera, and I try to keep the conversation going. But like,
I appreciate you say that, but here's where back 2 hours ago when I asked you, I'm like, dude, you don't
2.5.
Nice. Yeah.
Now we're on Joe Rogan time.
I know, right? Well, we got another hour and a half to go for his time.
You told her 4 hours. I don't want to push it.
I know. I actually did. That's funny. So going back to it, like you don't take compliments well, and right, you want to just like deflect that. No, what about you? But and I've heard Warren say it on this podcast, and Isaac said it. I think the other guys that I've listened to have brought this up as well. You are the most prepared out of any podcast I've been on, out of any show I've been on, any like live that I've been on. Like you passed out questionnaires. Here's something that we're going to talk about. Here are some talking points. Get some things in your mind going, and you're prepared. Like you don't just bring a microphone and a camera to this thing. Like, you take it seriously, and that's how I think that's how you're going to be super successful in this, because you give a shit and you work at it. And it's not just a microphone and a camera. Like, you actually give a shit.
I appreciate it.
Look at it.
I appreciate
Take a Hey, here, I'm a
Thank you.
Hey, you got that. You can also say,
I can't just sit there.
You can also say, I received that.
I received that.
There you go.
Thank you. But what I was gonna say was, I feel like this is I'm doing what people should be doing. I don't feel. Thank you. I received that. But this goes back to like the industries and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is what should be being done. This should be the bottom line standard. That's what I feel like I'm doing. You know, to provide value to the person coming on. If I just brought you on, I'm like, so what'd you do today?
Tell me about your life,
yeah,
dude.
tell us when you were a kid, which is how I started. That's how I started. I'm like, hey, like, let's start from the beginning. Where were you born? Like, yeah, people, it's whatever.
You gotta cut your teeth somewhere.
I feel like this is the bottom line, like of a standard that should be met.
So even having a standard, you're beating 75% of the people out there, 80%.
Thank you. I received that.
Dog. Listen,
That's so uncomfortable.
it's so uncomfortable. It hurts. Gets you right here.
I like your glasses.
Oh, I received that.
Hey.
Let's go. I like them too.
I received. I'm gonna start doing that. I hope people watch this episode till this point, so I don't look like they're like, Ish has never done that. Where did that come from? The one with Tanner Hall. That's where it came from.
Ooh, what number am I going to be?
25. Stand by. Bro, this is a little insider
On the
for
spot. You got inside baseball?
So these are everyone I want to have on that I still yet to get on.
I like those check marks though.
Yeah, I'm very, very. Look, I even got Tanner Hall 3/6/24. It's the filming date.
Let's go. See, you're organized. You care. You give a shit.
Yeah, I try. You know, I like you guys. So
Yeah, we like you too.
oh, you know where I could check the actual podcast website.
It's
So
not pertinent information.
You're gonna be 26.
Good. I like even numbers way better.
26.
Even numbers. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you for jumping on
My man.
and talking ish with me for over 2.5 hours.
Love it.
You're definitely one we're gonna have to run back.
Let's do it.
Dude,
Let's do it.
I don't even think we hit the talking points. We just went off on good stuff too.
We just
Like,
riffed, dog.
We riffed. Is that like a guitar reference? Or?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
riffing it.
See, I play a little guitar.
Well, I appreciate you for jumping on.
My man, thanks for having me. This is so cool what you created, what you started. Like I said, I just see this thing blowing up even more and more. Like, how cool is it that you interviewed Roberto Clemente Jr., right?
That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was pretty
at
awesome.
the Clemente Museum.
Even better.
Like, the big, and this is in what episode was that? 19, 20?
24.
24? Okay. Bro.
Should have been 21. Oh, I dropped
See, that's
the
where you
ball.
need the soundboard, like, wah, wah, wah.
I dropped the ball. Sorry, Junior.
You're too successful.
Yeah, too many people want to be on the show, you know? Thank
My
you.
man.
I received that.
Hey, let's go.
All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys for listening. This is the Relentless Project, the one with Tanner Hall. Later.
We're out.